Just one hit, and I gotta go.
You asshole. Get high, get high, get high, get high.
Long time listener, first time caller.
Long time listener, first time caller.
Long time listener, first time caller.
First time
Caller.
First time caller.
After downloading the free Discord app, use the invite link in the description or scan this QR code with your phone to be taken to the Beyond Wednesdays Discord server.
First time listener, long time caller.
There you will see the Modern Comic Mayhem category on the left with the call-in waiting room. Join that call-in waiting room, set up your camera and your mic, and have your questions ready.
Call me now!
Have you been smoking?
Marijuana. Stimulating. Mind expanding. Safer to use than alcohol. It's the in thing. The hula hoop of the jet generation. Marijuana is an intoxicating, mind-muddling drug and as much a part of growing up as smoking corn silk behind the back fence. This has been a public service message of the American Medical Association and your local station.
How you feeling? It's been a bit of a rough week, really. And the best way to take it is put it under your tongue and rub it in your cheek. Don't do too much, you're going to be asleep all afternoon. You know what you should do? No. Don't try to communicate, just relax. See what happens. You're calmed down so quickly. Isn't it amazing?
The following program deals with a controversial subject. The theories expressed are not the only possible interpretation.
The viewer is invited to make a judgment based on all available information.
What is good, everybody? Welcome to another Saturday night, another Modern Comic Mayhem. This is a special Saturday night. This is the cannabis holiday, the so-called 420, the day of get your mind right. And my drug of choice is RSO or FICO, full extract cannabis oil. And we're going to start off with our first little bit right there. That's all you need to go to space and see the aliens. We'll start off the show. I watched a show the other day where a dude drank 5,000 milligrams of cannabis syrup. I did that once on the Bogcast. Dude came in and he goes, "Here, these are for you guys. They're 250 milligram cannabis syrups." And me and Keith downed them. We each had one. It was tough, man. You could go watch that episode and you could see me, like, at one point I just hit this you could see I'm in the couch totally.
Just boom.
Yeah. I'm just like, what is going on? I had to get up and go, like, the only thing in my head was telling me, like, get up and go eat some bread. And because I was like, I went to go home. I was like, all right, guys, I'm leaving. And I came back like 2 minutes later. I'm like, I'm not going anywhere, man. I am not going anywhere.
I guess that's, I'm a little naive. I would never thought you could actually drink it, or like, I just assumed you had to smoke everything around that stuff.
No, dude. And here's the thing. When you ingest it, Nate, it's like 5 times as strong. It's 5 times as strong, right? So for anybody out there that thinks they can just take one gummy bear and they're going to be okay, don't. Take an ear of that gummy bear, because it all depends on your metabolism. It's how your metabolism, how fast it is.
It's like for me, like Coors Light or Coors Heavy.
You got it. Yeah.
You want to be
less filling, great taste.
Cans.
Yeah. All that stuff. So, but yeah, man, RSO, for those of you guys that don't know my story with cannabis and why cannabis is such a big part of my life, well, obviously I grew up using cannabis like most kids in the 80s and 90s. But my brother, about, I don't know, I'd say 6 years ago now, 5 years ago now, 6 years ago, he got diagnosed with bone cancer, and a really rare form of bone cancer, the same type of bone cancer that Michael Turner died from, osteosarcoma. And it was bad. It was rough. You guys can go check out the Bogcast episode with my brother where we talk about it. It's pretty crazy. But he was going through just super hardcore chemo, where he was 7 days in the hospital, the Mayo Center, under chemo. He would get 4 days off. He would go do 7 days in, and he did that for like 50 weeks, and it wasn't working. And finally, I had a buddy that came to me who was just getting started in the medical marijuana industry in Arizona, because it had just gotten legalized medically. And he said, "Let me help your brother. I see what's going on." And so he started to give him 200 milligram doses of RSO. And my brother would take 800 milligrams a day, and it changed everything. Even the doctor told us that if that wouldn't have happened, my brother wouldn't be alive. So I talk about cannabis and especially RSO or FICO pretty heavily as a good thing. And check it out. Go do some research on Rick Simpson oil specifically. So, all right. Lord Tapman says, I haven't smoked herbs since I got clean from heroin. 11 years since I last took. Congratulations, man. Congratulations. That's a big deal. Fucking A. Good for you. Good for you. That is awesome. All right. I am going to talk about some interesting stuff tonight. And you know what I'm going to do? Fuck it. I'm going to do this. Let's just go ahead and do this. If anybody wants to jump on tonight, have a decent setup or a cam, and we'll put this out there and open it up. If anybody wants to come on tonight. And the reason why is because I am having a major freaking problem with the Discord. There's some type of echo, so I can't take any call-ins. So if you guys want to come in tonight, just have a decent setup, and you can keep your camera. You got to keep your camera on just so I see who you are, and then you could turn it off if you want to turn it off, that type of deal. I'd have no problem with that. But unfortunately, you guys, the Discord is a little messed up, so I don't know if we're going to be able to use much of it. But that being said, I'll pin that StreamYard to the top when I get a chance. All right, Nate, you absolutely blew me away, bro. Right before you come on, I get this message, and I'm going to show everybody. Now, is this you guys opening the first box?
Yeah. So we did not open the second box, and I hit that on the third pack.
Ooh. Wow.
Third one. And I was like, got it. And I was like, and so Tara, Tyler's wife, so Tyler and I go on like a lot of cards together. And so, it's a lot easier to buy some of these bigger cards, especially when you're splitting with the buddy. And so we met like 7 years ago and with our kids, and we've just accumulated a lot of cards, and he's actually big into hockey. So it's hard because like besides you, there's not a lot of guys that talk about hockey cards.
Yeah.
And I want to say I was in DC this past week, and I was catching up on the Saturday show. Was great. I loved seeing Kyle on there. I was like, oh man, I hope he jumps on. And I saw the curtains, and then of course Jesse with his Maiden shirt, just always great. Dennis everything was just, all the shows were fantastic. And then at some point we've had these 2 boxes. So he and I had actually talked about buying one of the first series cases, and then I told him about the issues you ran into because we were trying to get the short print Bedard out of the first series. And I was like, I don't think that's the way to go. And the guy who owns a shop here had offered us, I can get you a case for cost if you want to. And then when they got the series 2 and they had one case, and they're just for folks who aren't familiar with the Upper Deck, they actually changed the packs this year. So there are 12 boxes in a case, and I want to say there are 12 cards in a pack, and they're only 3, 6, like I want to say they're 12.
It's very easy.
12 packs.
You're pulling more cards, which is good. That's what we want.
Yeah.
We don't want 4 cards per pack.
And I want to say usually you got 4 Young Guns out of a box, and now you get 6. But like no one's talked about any of the other cards. And so when the cases came out, they got one case locally, and you can only buy. They will only let you buy two boxes. So I went in the day they got them, got 2. And I've been sitting on them forever just because we haven't had a chance to hang out where we could actually just open cards. And we finally get the kids and everybody like out of their house when we were over there earlier. And I was like, hey, I don't remember. I still got the megas I found at Walmart and the 10s. I didn't bring those, but I do have the 2 hobby boxes. And so like, let's see if we can get one, because I'd heard that of the 6 out of the 12, no one had pulled a Bedard. And so I was like, I think our chances are pretty good, because at some point we talked about just keeping them closed, kind of like our Ovechkin boxes that we have. And literally, I opened 3 packs, and I got a Young Gun every pack. And on the third one, I was like, got it. And we just erupted, man. It was just awesome.
That's great, dude.
It's fantastic.
Yeah, that's cool. That's super cool.
So we still have the other one closed that we're just going to put with the other boxes and see what happens.
Yeah, not bad, man.
Because, now they actually have like the different colors with the Young Guns, and they also have like the Bedard portrait. So, you can get another Bedard. It just may not be just the base Young Gun. So, but, when you hit a card, it's a lot of fun when you hit a card.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know why the chat isn't showing up on the screen for some reason, you guys. It's a lot of things have been weird. We had this weird thing happen on YouTube. I don't know, a week ago or so, something like that, where everything's been out of whack on a bunch of stuff, YouTube wise, and all of my widgets and stuff like that. And for some reason, the chat isn't showing up on screen. It's pretty stupid, but I'm still trying to check out the chat. We'll try and keep the chat up as much as possible. All right. Let's see here.
Brian, too, I was going to ask you, when I started looking at the card, it's interesting on the back of the card. They have they get gray in the bottom corners on the back.
Yeah.
And then you have like the dark color at the top. And so I was going through it, and I was like, man, I think it's pretty clean.
And send it in.
I want to say, I saw you talking about one of the shows that someone had a PSA 10 of this, and it was almost like going for the same thing as a Connor McDavid. And I told Tyler, I'm like, if this thing's going for McDavid, I was like, we'll dump this and get McDavid, because I was like, I want that guy all day long. 3 hearts if the Oilers ever win.
Bro, I got to be honest, dude. I am so broken about the Coyotes leaving, dude. I'm so mad. I am so mad.
I saw, what was it, the disclaimer that if they can actually agree to a new statement of within 5 years that the NHL will give them an expansion team.
But that's not that's not the point.
Yeah, I get it.
Like they have such a great chance with Josh Doan playing here, coming up in Arizona. You know, his dad is Captain Coyote. Yeah. Like they had such an opportunity with that, and that team was going to be good. Logan Cooley's a great young prospect. He's going to be in the update series. Is Logan Cooley in update or series 2? He might be in series 2.
I think it's series 2.
Okay, so Cooley's is amazing. He's, you know, top rookie goals and points. You know, he's up there. Obviously not in Bedard's level, but I think he might be top 4, I think. You know, Keller's only 23 years old, I think, and he's their captain and he's a stud. It's a lot of BS by the Coyotes and also by this piece of shit owner that we got. Check this out. Glendale, they got kicked out of the Glendale arena. Glendale said they would do something with them, but they had to sign a 20-year contract, and they didn't want to do it. And that's the reason that the Coyotes are leaving to go to Salt Lake City. It's all because they didn't want to sign a 20-year contract. Glendale wanted them to
when
sign.
you see like teams like what's leaving with Phoenix, especially with the young talent, it always reminds me of the Nordiques when they left, because they moved to Colorado and they were bad for a long time, but all of a sudden they had that base, like with the Nordiques with Sakic and Sundin and Forsberg and Mike Ricci, and all of a sudden they go to Colorado and they win the cup. 2-3 years later, it feels like a slap in the face. It's almost like the same thing with the Browns and Baltimore with the Ravens.
Yeah, that's what it feels like. Yeah,
and then they win the Super Bowl.
Yeah,
it's just.
And here's the other problem: they got 5 years to build an arena, and you know they're buying that new thing. And the problem is we don't want an expansion team. We want this team that we grew. We want this team that has Shane Doan's son on it. We want this team. You know what I mean? Like that's the problem. That's what's so important.
From Phoenix, born and raised.
Yes,
that's it. Yeah, I get it.
I mean, that is like the perfect sports story, and they're going to be good. You watch; they'll be in the Western Conference Championship in the in the next 3 years. They'll be in the Western Conference Championship, if not win a cup. You watch; they'll be that good, and that's gonna just break me. And the Rangers won the President's Cup this year, and I should be happy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I'm part of me doesn't even want to watch the playoffs. So
I can totally empathize, because growing up in the Hornets when they left, and being a Wake Forest fan, Chris Paul is from Winston-Salem, went to Wake Forest, and then he's a Hornet, but he's in New Orleans wearing a Hornets jersey instead of Charlotte. It's a kick in the face.
Yeah, big time, dude, in a big way. But you know, whatever, it is what it is. You know, it's sports. You know, it's like we shouldn't care that much about sports, but that's the problem when you have like a hometown team and all that type of stuff. That's what happens, you know. Did you you brought up the Cleveland thing, right? Like there are people that are hurt to this day about stuff like that, about teams leaving. Yeah. They talk about that stuff to this day. Yeah, Arizona wasn't putting a ton of people in the seats for hockey, but let's be honest, it was kind of a shit show for quite a few years. It was not good for a long time. When we went to the Western Conference Final, you could pack the seats when they started winning. You know, when Doan was there and that type of stuff, the seats were packed. It was a great, fun event to go to. I would go to 20 games a season, you know, and you could go. It was worth the tickets were worth going, and you could sit low, you could sit in the corners. It was a lot of fun. But, you know, when you only have a 5,000 seat arena, right?
Yeah, because they were going to Arizona State, right, for a little bit.
That's where they're playing at Mullet. They call it Mullet Arena.
And they moved from Winnipeg down to Phoenix, right? And
yeah.
and this is where I actually learned about, again, kind of like the pain. There was a guy, Jordan, that I hung out with in New York for a long time. He was from Winnipeg, and he hated the Coyotes because all he wanted was he's like, the Winnipeg should have a hockey team. I was like, I agree. It's still like, I'm not a Carolina fan. I've never liked the Hurricanes.
Yeah.
Even when like the Hurricanes were playing the Red Wings, I remember that in 2002, the Hurricanes didn't even sell at the Stanley Cup Finals.
Yeah.
Because no one in Carolina cares. No matter what they tell you, they don't care. And Hartford, the Whalers, like that should be a team. I mean, they're it always seems like it's just people just squabble about arenas, and then we'll just leave, and then eventually, oh yeah, we'll get a new team, and then we'll pay for the arena for them. Same with like Cleveland and football. I mean, it feels like it's kind of the same thing. The Oilers going to Nashville, and then they get the Texans. It seems like it's the same story every time.
Yeah, it's really weird. Let me see. See if Streamlabs is down.
The chat seems to be coming through.
Yeah.
No.
Not on the bottom, not on the screen yet, unfortunately.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. On the side, yeah.
It's driving me crazy. All right. Some comic stuff. Let's get into some comic stuff. Did we talk about X-Men 97, Nate?
So I actually just watched that today. The first time I had a chance to watch it, I got through episode 5. And man, what a great series.
Yeah, it's really good.
I think the best part, I was trying to explain to my wife, she was born in 84. So I was telling her, I was like, it picks up where like the old X-Men ended. And at one point, the guy does, "I'll page you." And I was like, "Page you?" And then it hit me. I'm like, "Oh, because they don't text." And then I was like, why does Jubilee have a bulb TV in her room? Like little things. I'm like, man, it's such a good show. But I just ended where like Gambit got killed, and I just, wow, that was incredible.
Yeah, very interesting, man.
Yeah.
Hold on, let me get this figured out here. Yeah, I don't know what's going on here. The show is causing comic books to start blowing up, which is very cool. That's very interesting. So
when I saw Magneto, the trial of Magneto, and I saw the Big M, I was thinking back in the 90s, that cover. I've tried to stay off Instagram, and so I didn't see a lot of what was going on, but I could see why.
Yeah.
I just don't understand how Jubilee still has her rain jacket and jorts. I mean, that poor girl. Someone's got to buy her outfit. It's weird. It's funny because I think she's Asian now, but I'm not positive. But she looks it.
Wasn't she always meant to be Asian?
I don't know. I don't remember. Like back in the day, she just looked like, but it seems very prominent now. But it's like whatever.
Yeah. I thought that was kind of like the thing the whole time, but maybe I'm wrong. I thought she was always meant to be that.
I could have missed it. I don't know about the old ones.
It made me, you know what it did? It made me go back and look at old books because I forgot about the whole Wolverine 51 to 53 storyline that they based that off of. You know what I mean? So
God, yeah.
Yeah. That was super cool to me, to be able to see all that stuff. But Jubilee's Jim Lee's sister, says Tom. Is that what she's based on?
Oh, really?
If that's true, that is cool.
And a couple people say that she's always been Asian. It seems like they make it a little more prominent, I guess, in the cartoon now. But
yeah,
it's a great show.
Yeah, Jim Lee really based her off his sister. That's cool. That's super cool.
Awesome.
They recast her, and VA was not Asian. VA, what's that? I don't know what that is. All right. Yeah, the X-Men stuff was really good, man. I thought that was very interesting how the Deathbird stuff is kind of starting to get big on secondary market, the Miss Marvel book. But the cool thing to me is that X-Men is just getting hot again. You know what I mean? That's the cool part. And this was interesting for all you X-Men fans. There is talk that this book that we heard where Chris Claremont is coming back, they're flashing back to the Outback era of the X-Men with Wolverine. It's supposed to be a super cool Wolverine deep cut. So there we go. We'll see how this plays out. See if it's a cool X-Men story. But they're gonna start playing on this for sure. It says in this 4-issue limited series set just before the villainous Reavers led a devastating attack on the team's 89 uncanny X-Men, Wolverine will encounter none other than his arch enemy Sabretooth, as Claremont uses Wolverine deep cut to finally fill in a story gap that's been lingering for decades. Out of the Outback on a life or death mission, Logan sets off from his Outback, leaving behind what was left of the X-Men for a mysterious mission, reads Marvel's official announcement. After decades of mystery, Claremont reveals that just what Wolverine got up to before his unforgettable battle with the Reavers, featuring sinister revelations and claw-to-claw confrontations with Sabretooth. So this is what we talked about with Star Wars, that like Star Wars can do stuff like this, and they can go and fill in moments and do it in a good way. And I really thought that they were going to do that with Vader and Obi-Wan, because that's what I want. I want this, but for Darth Vader. You know what I mean? I want to fill in cool moments in Darth Vader or Anakin when Anakin was turning to the dark side. And they're going to start, hopefully it works with X-Men while everything's, hot. We'll see though. Philip Tan is this cover. Edgar Salazar.
I mean, I will say, like the books, just depending on what you're reading right now. Like, I do really enjoy the X-Men books. The only problem I actually have with like the X-Men books is that it's almost like the Transformers back. I don't know if you remember. I guess it was like almost 10 years ago when they ended the Transformers run, and they went to 2 titles, like More Than Meets the Eye, and then it was, I can't remember if it's Transformers, but they're both IDW. And they had so many characters. Sometimes I get a little lost with the X-Men, like, because there's so many characters. So I try to kind of keep up with the main ones, like the main title with like Forge and Sync and those folks. But
yeah,
I do enjoy the X-Men. I'm curious to see like kind of how they do the new reboot that's getting ready to start and see how that comes through. But we'll see.
Yeah, I think it's going to be good. I'm looking forward to it.
I do too.
I'm big into the X-Men universe now for some reason. It's just the way it is.
I don't remember Forge being like when I thought he was really good in the show, like trying to help Storm get her powers back. And I think he's great in the comic. I just don't really remember them ever. I don't remember being in the old series, and I could have just missed it because it's been a long time. But
did you see?
I could take a little bit less Cyclops. I'll tell you that at some point.
Yeah.
He's just a nerd.
Yeah.
Charles is gone. Yeah, it was actually good, like seeing Magneto take over, and then I was like, Gambit, he's got your girl. I was like, there we go.
Did you hear about Marvel spoiling? They spoiled 2 things this week. Let me find this. So they spoiled this on the back of I think a Spanish or Portuguese toy, Red Hulk, and then this character right here. 2 spoils right here. So we already knew that we were going to get them, but now we're just going to start seeing the quote-unquote toy spoilers. But this is an interesting character right here, the female character. Marvel's next Phase 5 female villain revealed. A McDonald's Happy Meal promotion shared via Instagram spoiled the first look at Diamondback for Captain America Brave New World. The packaging lists character as Cascavel, a Portuguese for rattlesnake, indicating that this MCU's version of Diamondback or Rachel Layton. So another C-list character that people are going to start specking on, I imagine. What's her first appearance? First appearance of Diamond.
The funny part is, like, I always remember, like, when they would bring out the characters or at least the toys before the movies or cartoons, I guess. And I still remember, like, when Hot Rod and Rodimus Prime came out at the same time, I was like, God, these guys look very similar.
Yeah.
And one said City Commander and one said, something else. I'm like, oh, they're different names, different functions. They have nothing to do with one another.
Captain America.
Ignorance is bliss is a little bit. Justin, Captain 4 is going to suck ass.
I think it is too. I don't think it's going to be good.
I hope not. I mean, like, I love the Captain American stuff they put out, but
$16 raw. There you guys go. Starting to sell. A 9.4 for 125. A 9.8 went for 385. People are already specking. So there you go.
Doesn't take long.
2 days. C-list character. Gonna die in the first 4 minutes.
Yeah, just like Suicide Squad.
Suicide Squad, yeah. What was that character? The one with the Slipknot or whatever? Died in the first 4 freaking minutes, man.
And he was a guy from Walking Dead. Because I always and actually he's from Guardians of the Galaxy too.
Yeah. Yep. Do you see this? That there's rumors of a Michael Keaton Batman sequel to the 89 series.
So I like the first Batman. Like I remember when it came out and especially working at the comic store, we sold more of those Batman posters. Just you couldn't keep them in stock. They were just great. And everyone, like, I remember the owner of the store always said, it's not the Batman movie, it's the Joker movie, because Jack Nicholson's role was so prominent. And, there's truth to that. But Keaton was good. Like, the movie was good. It was. I didn't like the other ones after that. I don't know exactly what you're going to do. I guess that's the question. Is like, what are you planning on trying to do? Because after the Nolan films, it's even like with Robert Pattinson, like the latest Batman was really good.
Yeah.
I mean, what are you trying to do? With,
Batman's broken and shattered right now, dude, in a bad way.
If he had not been in The Flash, I may be a little more up for it, but that was so awful. I mean, I'd rather drink bile than ever watch that movie again. It was absolutely terrible.
There's a new J. Scott Campbell cover coming out for. Let me see if I can bring this up. I don't know why it's not loading.
Not to skip the name, but who? If you want to put him as a superhero, what Keaton did in Amazing Spider-Man, he was great as the Vulture. Especially when they go to prom and he turns around and he's so dead serious and looks at Tom Holland and tells him, "I will kill everyone that you've ever cared about."
Yeah,
because he goes from like happy to like dead serious so quickly. Like that, he focus on Beetlejuice 3 and that kind of character. Like we don't need another Batman.
J. Scott Campbell kills Psylocke covers. Absolutely destroys Psylocke covers. And he's got a new one coming out, you guys, that is just fan-freaking-tastic. Look at that. That is gorgeous.
It is awesome.
Man.
Is she purple? Is that the color?
Yeah, purple. Yeah.
Yeah.
Really, really good.
Yeah, he knocks it out of the park.
It's X-Men 1.
Oh, so this is the new series coming out?
Yeah.
Oh, yes. When is that exactly?
X-Men 1 Psylocke. Is it just Psylocke?
I'd read that. If they're gonna kind of start fresh and give her own series, I'd get with that. She's cool.
Oh, it's okay. It's based on these books. And this looks good, man. What a great team. Cyclops, Juggernaut, Beast, Psylocke, a Kid Omega, Magic, and Magneto. I don't care about who this is. I don't even know who that is. But the rest of the team is fucking awesome. That's a great team.
Magic is so prominent now. I do like how they put her into the cartoon.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was Morph changing into her, but I was like, man, that's
Morph,
cool.
yeah. I
Yeah,
like that
that was-
the Spiral stuff too. I've always thought Spiral was a cool character for in X-Men lore.
They've just got so many that they could do.
Yeah.
They've got so many characters. That's why you really got to be able to help the audience follow who the team is.
Yeah.
But Juggernaut's just, I don't know about that art. Like the X on Juggernaut's helmet, that looks a little, but always try it out.
Yeah, man, that's a great X-Men book or J. Scott Campbell cover. I want to look at the teams real quick. So, should we have other teams?
I don't know if you remember when they relaunched it. This was a couple of years ago, and Quesada did the, was it 1 in 500 cover?
Yeah,
it was a beautiful cover.
Damn, man. All right, so X-Men 1. What are the other books? X-Men from the Ashes. Okay, here we go. So here are the 3. There's 4 coming out, but this is the connecting cover of the 3 teams: Exceptional X-Men, X-Men, and Uncanny X-Men. Yeah, this looks cool. I'm in on this, 100%. Uncanny X-Men's Nightcrawler, Jubilee, Rogue and Gambit, and Wolverine.
Mm-hmm. The old school.
Yep. Man, these are going to be great. I'm really looking forward to this one right here, though. I think that all these characters are great. I don't know who this is. Who is that?
I don't know. I'm actually just looking for Sync. He's probably my favorite character right now in the X-Men books, and I don't see him on there. I'm sure he'll find his way in some way or another.
All right, X-Men. Let's see here: Cyclops, Beast, Magneto, Kid Omega, Temper. It's Temper. Her name's Temper, formerly Oya. Never even heard of her. That's written by Jed McKay with art by Ryan Stegman. Uncanny X-Men is Gail Simone and David Marquez. And it says, outlaw heroes, once again, the X-Men embark on a new mission, making themselves the home in the Big Easy. That's kind of cool, New Orleans. The X-Men protect the world that hates and fears them. Join Rogue, Gambit, Nightcrawler, Jubilee, Wolverine, an explosive new superhero adventure. Uncanny as ever. I think X-Men fans... that's Gail Simone talking about it. I think I've already read that. David Marquez that's going to be a good art, interior art. I'm crossing my fingers on this one.
It'd be neat if they actually, if they're in New Orleans, if they, somehow or another they cross over with Strange Academy at some point.
Yeah, that would be cool. That would be super cool. Good idea. Smokey Collect says, Oya has fire ice ability. She self-imposed prison because she killed somebody, but now she's back. Okay.
Oh, wow.
Exceptional X-Men is written by Eve Ewing and art by Carmen Carnero. Mutant Kind's 2 greatest teachers mold the next generation of X-Men. Kate Pryde has returned home to Chicago following the war with Orcus, and Emmett Frost is the other teacher. So that'll be cool. Isn't there a 4th one? Yeah, NYX. There was a bunch of them. Okay, there's like more.
So if there's NYX, Sync would be with her.
Okay, yeah. Phoenix, X Factor, Storm, Wolverine, X-Force, and NYX are all coming. Summer of 2024. So soon. This is cool. I'm all in now.
Have you been reading the Wolverine series?
The Sabretooth one?
Yeah. I'm 2 issues behind.
Yeah, I don't like it, dude. I don't like it. It's
Oh,
weird. Yeah. It's weird.
I like it. I think
it's weird, bro. But I do like weird. Don't get me wrong. Like all the different Wolverines and, all the different Sabretooths and.
All the different creeds coming from different worlds. And then, Wolverine's son getting killed. Like, no one cares.
But did you get to the part yet, bro, that this is going to change everything for you? Did you get to the part yet where Wolverine has to put on a suit of adamantium because can't. He's not. Oh my god, dude! I just ruined it for you.
No, so yeah, I've got a couple I've got to catch up on, and I've got I've been saving up like the Batman run to kind of read them all this weekend.
Oh, dude, it is rough, man. Stuff. It is rough. It's rough, but all right, let's check out some FOC stuff, you guys. Starting off with our boy Lefteros and the cover price FOC selections for the week of April 22nd. Look at that great freaking Art Adams magic. I'm assuming that's Art Adams.
I thought it was Angela.
Oh, that's Angela. Yeah, that's Angela. Holy cow, that's badass.
It's the processes. That's how you can tell.
Action Comics 1065. You got a Supergirl cover depiction by Ivan Talavera. What do you think? That's actually a good cover.
So I actually want to get the Action Comics. I think it's Action Comics 1064 and Superman 13 to read the Brainiac story.
Yeah, I agree.
So if this falls into it, because I know Williamson's writing it, I actually was so I'd be in for it. But the cover is great. I love it. I think it's awesome.
Yeah. Moving on, Amazing Spider-Man number 50. You got a negative space John Tyler Christopher he should have knocked this out of the park, but it doesn't look good for some reason. I don't know what it is. If it's the lighting on him that he tried to put, it just doesn't work.
It feels like it's too much white.
He feels scrawny and like it doesn't. There's something, I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe everybody loves this, but I'm not a fan of this.
I should have knocked this out of the park. Some of the stuff is just kind of worn a little bit. It's the same thing after a while.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, there we go.
And the poses really don't change that much, too, even within the people that he does do.
Yeah. It's getting old. Dark Ride number 12. You got a cover by Luana Vecchio. This is final issue. Dark Ride. So, pretty cool. Joshua Williamson book. I know our boy Tony Fleece did a bunch of cool covers for it. So this was always a big book. A lot of people collected those variants. Moving on, we've got Immortal Thor. This is the Art Adams variant with, what's her name? Angela.
Angela.
That is going to be a hit.
Looks like she's either gotten shorter or she's been at Wendy's buffet a little much.
Either works.
Out a little bit.
Yeah. What a freaking cover! Holy cow! Immortal Thor number 11. There you go. Superior Spider-Man number 7. You got a Humberto Ramos variant. Superior Spider-Boy.
I could give two shits about the Spider-Boy. He could deliver he's about as qualified to do the NFL draft as Mel Kiper. I mean, so Spider-Boy can just, the title Spider-Man. So
yeah.
Next.
Ultimates number 1. First in-story appearance of the new Ultimates. First appearance of Earth 6160, Ant-Man and Wasp. Possible intro of Midas. So there you go. Who's that character right there? That looks cool.
Looks like Doom.
Right?
Doesn't it?
It does look like Doom.
So, Ultimate Spider-Man, awesome. Panther, not so good. X-Men, awful. Hopefully this one's good.
Is that Midas? Maybe that's Midas?
Is it?
I don't know. I hope that's some type of Doom character. Void Rivals number 7, second print. That's a pretty cool looking cover. That's a cool character. I just can't get into Void Rivals. So, second printing of the first appearance of this Proximus character. Robert Kirkman story. Renzo Di Felice art. That's a great looking cover. I just can't get into it. What about you? You like the Void Rivals stuff?
Honestly, I kind of fell off just because I missed a couple issues.
Yep.
But I do like where the Void Rivals, like where it's a second cover or printing, it's very easy to identify.
Mm-hmm.
But as soon as I see Proximus, I'm like, Proximus, like it feels like a Transformer name. That's
Hey Nate,
I just can't.
We gotta talk. We gotta talk about the history of the Transformers one of these days. We got to do a show where we get like
back when they were in China, like came from Diaclone and all that kind of stuff, and how they came to America, and we basically copied exactly what they had, but put it in the mainstream.
Yeah,
it's interesting. Yeah,
I would love to do
like
that show.
That's yeah, like if you want to see like those old Optimus Prime trailers, that's why there's a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 when you look under your Optimus Prime trailers.
Yeah,
you see the number and stuff. Yeah,
yeah.
There's a lot to it.
Yeah, we have
cool though.
We have to get all the major Transformer people to do a show and talk about the history of Transformers. All right, X-Men 97 #2, second printing, animation art cover featuring Rogue and Gambit. This will be a hit.
Yeah,
this will be a hit for sure.
Yeah.
And that is it. So make sure you guys go check out Cover Price and well, just for Lefteros' thing. Now we go check out our boy
Billy.
Economics and Comics. Shout out to Billy at Economics and Comics. Amazing Spider-Man #50 is the most popular book that he's selling right now. Look at that. $9.99 is the buy-in on that. There's the Ultimate One Superior Spider-Man Monolith cover by Todd McFarlane. Look at that.
With the little spawns or the little spawn skulls on his head.
Let me take a look here. Is there any other variants for that? Yeah, there is. Wow, look at that.
See, that's a great cover.
Right?
I mean, like, you got some huge demon behind a demon in chains.
Yeah. That's a great looking cover, man.
Like Death Troopers beside him.
Yeah. There we go. That is it. That's interesting. We'll have to keep an eye on that. Rat City #2. I think this is another interesting book that I'm going to check out. Future Spawn book, which sounds very, very cool. Spawn's doing good stuff right now, man. Here's Rat City Bjorn Barron's cover. Wow. Pretty good.
$2.99.
Yeah. Hold the line at $2.99, baby.
So with the Superman story, like I picked up Green Lantern 9, which is really good. But it's almost like the guy at the shop was telling me, he's like, they did the switcheroo to you, like when they were doing the cardstock covers and they were $4.99 and the regular covers were $3.99, and they just switched everything to $4.99 and just didn't tell you. It's like, yeah, it's like they just pillage your wallet. These $4.99 prices.
Look at this. Ultimates #1, John Tyler Christopher. That is horrible.
I don't understand.
Siri, that is horrible right there. Oh my God. There he is. Shout out to Billy.
Billy.
Yeah. Happy Saturday. Thanks for everything. Appreciate you, brother. You're the best. But this is horrible. Oh my God, this is bad. I don't even know what to think. Is this like a foil? Is this going to be foil or? Oh, that's rough, man. That's a tough one. We already looked at that. That's all the packs.
You notice how that's not the one he's selling on his site independently? That's the one that's coming out because no one wants to buy that piece of shit.
This one is really good. This is Ultimate Black Panther #4, the Raza. Ooh, that's good.
Oh, yeah, that's great.
That's going to be good. Something is Children to Children 37. Yuck.
God, you talk about a title that's completely fallen off the face of the planet. Like I don't hear anyone talking about that anymore.
I like this one. This is a good cover right here. That's a great Spider-Man cover. Holy shit.
He's a really good artist. He's doing Fantastic Four right now.
Yeah, this is amazing. This is good art right here.
Yeah, his interiors on Fantastic Four are really good.
Wow, that's a good cover. Man, that was excellent. There's another variant. I got to tell you though, you guys. They're doing this storyline in Amazing Spider-Man that might be the dumbest storyline I've ever heard.
They've been going on for 50 issues and before they even relaunched it. It's been the dumbest storyline for.
Dude,
God, you go back to Red Goblin when they launched him. I mean,
they have this Goblin thing that they got going on that is so dumb. The Red Goblin, the Gold Goblin, and now Peter's gonna become Green Goblin? What the fuck are we doing, you guys? That is the dumbest thing I have ever heard. I mean, it would have been cool if we have never heard of Superior Spider-Man or something like that, but it feels like they're just grasping right now and they can't.
So I will tell you, Brian, I dropped ASM or Spider-Man when I heard Slot's idea about Doc Ock and Peter back in like 2014
Superior
or whatever it was.
Yeah.
I hated the idea. And, everyone talked about the story was really good. And it took me a long time to actually even come around to even read it. But God, I mean, like, how many colored goblins can you have? I mean, it's, we talk about it all the time. Joe talks about it. I mean, it's like, there is just no, I listened to Rob Liefeld today when I was working on the yard, and he was telling people, like, the writers, you got to take chances, and no one's taking chances. They are just copying everything that's already out there.
Yeah. This is the groups that I feel like are going to save us. The Ghost Machine, the Energon universe, those type of things. This red coat is going to be interesting. So I'll keep an eye on this. Jeff Johns, Bryan Hitch storyline. Very, very cool. They're trying to create their whole universe over there, and I respect that. This right here, though, holy cow, is this good? Transformer number 6, second print. Oh, look at that. This needs to be foil right here.
Hey, Clutch, if you're on.
Yeah. Yeah. Clutch, you need to make a spot foil cover of this.
The funny part is everyone's got a different favorite Constructicon, just like they do a lot of the combiners. But everyone loves Devastator.
Yeah.
And you could literally highlight Scrapper on one cover or Mix Master on the other, like highlight them with a foil. And you can, if you want, you could probably make 5 foils of kind of like the same thing, but people would love it.
Damn, dude. So good. Just instantly takes me back. Seeing those colors.
I loved Hook. Hook was my favorite.
Yeah, me too. Me too. He was the coolest one. Just seeing these colors together, the purple and the green, and just takes me back instantly. Those things were so cool as a kid.
Dude, I don't know how many times I've watched, because Hasbro has the old Transformers TVs or the shows on their channel on YouTube. And I don't know how many times I've watched Heavy Metal War with my son. And the Dinobots come out and Devastator combines for the first time. And I still remember when that happened when I was a kid. I was just like, I've never seen anything like it.
Yeah, it was amazing. Yeah, Igor says Soundwave was always my favorite. I agree. Soundwave was awesome. I love the Dinobots, man. I freaking love the Dinobots. And I love what we all loved. I love Jetfire. I remember when my buddy got Jetfire. I was we would, on my block during Christmas, all the kids after Christmas Day would all go and show each other what they got, and we'd play with them and stuff in each other's yards. And I remember my buddy showed me Jetfire, and I was like, oh my God, dude, that is the coolest Transformer ever.
And Igor, you're probably reading the Energon, but like the universe, but like the latest Transformers where Starscream and Soundwave face off for like who is actually the commander of the Decepticons. It's just awesome.
Did you see the new trailer for the new movie?
I did, and honestly, if I didn't have a 6-year-old, I would just tell you it's the biggest piece of shit. But
yeah,
I can see, like, for kids, just like Hasbro came out with these little figures that are like $10 that you can find, like with little Dinobots, and they actually combine. They go nuts from like that's how you actually kind of keep the young kids or the new generation into it. And so
you're right. That's a great point.
I would, but I do have tickets for May 15th to take him to the theater to watch the.
Speaking of
Transformers, we've got one of the originals.
Sorry, I'm late. I was actually getting my bile of.
And so I do have tickets for May 15th and to take him to watch the original episodes, and they put like I don't know if they do like Frank Walker and Cullen or some of the guys like halfway on the side for the original episodes.
Yeah, I got tickets for that too, Nate.
Yeah, it's gonna be awesome,
first,
man.
First 4 episodes they're doing. Yeah.
That's why I couldn't figure out, because I figured like naturally the first 3. So I wasn't quite sure like if they're just doing like More Than Meets the Eye and then just the next one, or just a completely different one that just they have like people reading scripts from.
Yeah. I got my tickets 2 weeks ago. I'm excited.
Yeah, I agree. Nice Guy Megatron is not what I want to see, but I get it. I get it. All right, back to where we were. This Something is Killing the Children cover. It better be foil, right? That's definitely got a foil. That's a foil cover.
Has to be with what she's holding up.
Nah, not for $3.99.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Man, that's a perfect foil cover. Are you kidding me?
That comes to you from our friends at the Comic-Con podcast.
Yeah, there you go. This is a good Frizen. You know, it is what it is. But do you still reading Something That's Killing the Children, Justin? Do you ever read
I'm
it?
keeping up with it.
Yeah.
It was interesting that the last monster, the doppelganger.
Yeah.
It was cool. I mean, the universe is still building itself, right? With House of Slaughter, that's kind of changed. I really wish Tinian would go in more with like the different masks. Like that's really where the expansion needs to come, or even do like a prequel, like because they had that one shot where they showed that monsters were around way back in the day. Like, let's do something like that. That'd be really cool.
Yeah. Well, he's definitely done with the superhero stuff, so he's going all in on this.
And didn't you have on the market report, like on Wednesday, the number 6, the variant? It still seems like it's not what it was. Nothing is, but it still seems like it's doing pretty well.
Yeah, that the bloody bathtub one is the good one, right?
Yeah.
This is a great Nakayama cover. Holy cow! It's connecting. Fall of the House of X number 5. Huh? That's pretty good. I like to see Nakayama covers where it's not just one character. Yeah, that was really good. Gun Honey, Jubilee. Oh, this is a beautiful cover. Holy cow! Who is that? Is that Kari Andrews? Who is that? Todd Knock. Wow, that's a great Todd Knock cover. Holy shit. That's very interesting. Union Jack the Ripper. This Blood Hunt. Did you guys hear about the Blood Hunt stuff? Marvel's really pushing this, man. They are. Yeah. They're going to give free copies of the main event to shops, which is very interesting. I'm sure they do that shit all the time.
A ton of tie-ins for this, though.
Yeah, there's like 40 tie-ins. Or 40 total books you're going to buy.
Yeah, there's what is it? Like there's at least five or six tie-ins that are there's the tie-ins that are into like Fantastic Four and Spider-Man. Then there's the mini series. There's like 5 or 6 of them. And then there's like 5 or 6 one-shots that are mainly all X-Men characters.
This could be really good though. Like, you know what I mean? Like a C-list, D-list character. Just throw them in there, write a cool vampire tale. Who's writing it? What's interesting? Cavan Scott. So perfect example. Cavan Scott, turn this into a cool... Do you have any cool vampire story you want to tell with some D-list character? Let's do it. Good Ryan Brown cover. Star Wars 46, Nodo, Qui-Gon, Apprentice variant. Star Wars is just terrible right now to me. There's a Capullo Spider-Man 50 that's not good.
No. That's so basic.
Yeah.
Background kills it because it's so dark.
That's terrible. This is a good cover though. Suicide Squad Dream Team, Rafael Sarmento. That's a interesting style. It looks different. I'm all for. 350 Matina variant. That's interesting. Always loved the Cygor character. I didn't mean to do that. All right. Red Coat. You got the wraparound cover. That's cool. Are you reading any of the Ghost Machine stuff?
Yeah, Rook Exodus was amazing.
Yeah. I am blown away by how good that was. I thought the Rook stuff was going to be the coolest stuff too. That's a scary ass Ice Cream Man cover. Holy cow. That's a great cover.
That's a title I haven't heard of. I haven't heard much about in a long time.
A lot of people say that's one of the best titles being written. People love it. These second print covers, man. I have a feeling that we shouldn't be sleeping on them.
There are a lot of. It's not even just seconds, especially with some of these the Energon stuff. They get into pretty late printings on some of these.
You know what I'm shocked about, and Nate, you'll like this. How that the GI Joes are doing like the 1 in 25s, like the old card backs. I'm surprised they didn't do that for the Transformers for 1 in 25s.
Yeah.
Yes, the purple. Yep. Yeah.
And I was actually surprised. Like you can find, I think like Cobra Commander number 2 or 3, Buzzer, like the 125 with him with the chainsaw with the explosion back, and it's not that much. Like you can get it for like $12-15. I thought they would go for a lot more than that.
Or they were kind of smart where they didn't open up the retailer exclusive variant pool for a lot of those, for any of them, I don't think yet. So we'll probably end up seeing at some point they're going to open up, to retailers and say, okay, if you want to do a cover, let us know what you want. And I could totally see that's going to happen. We're going to get the logo covers. We'll get, weird stuff that they just didn't open up to retailers yet.
Because the David Mack, the 1 in 250s, I mean, they look great, but
yeah,
if you order the 250, like a lot of this, besides the Megatron one,
oh, that foil,
the Cobra Commander,
yeah,
which is awesome.
I gotta send mine in for grading.
Oh, yeah.
I have to. I keep forgetting to. Like it's on my pile, and I'm just like I send in other books first, and I always remember. I'm like, oh yeah, I have that John Boy Myers one.
This cover right here is fantastic. Excellent cover.
Yeah.
Dodson, there's the Void Rivals. Something is killing the children. Reveal cover. What is that? Is that an Adam Hughes Gun Honey? Not very good. All right. Ultimates in Huck Lee. That's a good cover. I just don't like characters. Not a fan of the characters. Cool cover. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Last Ronin 2. What do you guys think about all the Last Ronin hype?
I mean, I gotta get loose or lost. There are so many Last Ronins. The first series I enjoyed, but do you remember when it came out, like during COVID and everything? The space in between each issue, it felt like it took 3 months before the issues came out.
Yeah,
and it was a good story. But the other ones I've kind of gotten lost. Actually, if anything, I want to read. I want to read the Foot Clan.
Yeah,
like the Destiny of the Foot Clan with that focus on before you go into like 150 and the relaunch, because I can't imagine with that IDW series they can go like completely too far from it, or I hope they don't. But the Last Ronin, I feel like, again, was it it's just like Dark Knight Returns. It probably would just water down, saturate, just try to have too many spin-offs of a good thing.
Nate, you sound like me. I feel like I said that on the podcast. It's like we didn't need this re-evolution. I didn't need 4 new Ninja Turtles. It's just, let it sit for a while. The original Last Ronin was great, even though it took over a year to do. But yeah, just let it sit, let it marinate for a couple of years, and you don't need to just keep milking it. But again, IDW doesn't have anything. They lost
everything.
Yeah, it's this and Sonic. That's all you get.
Do you know, the funny part is I always forget, I think people forget, like, remember when they originally did like the Last Ronin? Do you remember the thin the taller versions, they were, what are they, like the 4-page versions of like what was supposed to come out? The ash can. And then I guess maybe, what was it? They just didn't, whoever it was, didn't approve of the art, didn't like it. Because I actually have 2 of those signed by Eastman and sketched on. And I was like, if this ever becomes something, I would think the ash cans that really maybe no one has or never really, or kind of slept on, would be more, because they came out with so many variants of the of number 1. Because they're so tall.
$50.
I mean, they're
$50 a pop right now, because the news, of the movie that's coming out has this book starting to get some more love to it, right? Starting to get hot again. But yeah, that ash can might be a good play. There were so many variants for number 1.
That's why I do like the Momoka stuff. Like, I'm not a big fan of hers, but I do love that one that TMNT 100. Like that's what launched her. I mean, it is beautiful. I would love to have that book.
Yeah. Well, supposedly people are excited for it. We'll see how the movie, if the movie ended up getting made. But yeah, man, 9/8, 300 plus, it looks like. That's not bad. There was just so many variants for that book, though.
That's why I think the ash can's got to be worth more.
Yeah.
Because it's got to be hard to get in a clean grade.
Yeah. All right. Let's see here. Here's a foil book, Ultimates foil. That'll be hopefully a pretty book. We'll see. They need to figure out. There we go, $13. That makes sense. More facsimile BS. This is cool. I gotta say, I like these Blood Hunt variants that they're doing. These homage variants. I think they look great. This is Lee Garbett, Spectacular Spider-Man 3. That's a great cover. This one's beautiful too. Symbiote Spider-Man 2099 number 3, the Balzuda Stormbreakers variant. That's a gorgeous book, even though I can't totally make out what it is.
Is that Nightcrawler?
It looks like it's some type of Nightcrawler symbiote Ghost Rider 2099 thing. The Stormbreaker covers that they're doing are really good lately. This one, here we go. That's a good cover. Symbiote Spider-Man 29 number 3, the regular cover.
I think Zach's going to buy all these because he loves symbiotes.
That's great.
I'll ask him.
Yeah. John Tyler Christopher action figure variant of a character nobody cares about. Immortal Thor's got another great cover. Alex Ross. This is a badass La Roca cover for Ghost Rider. Final Vengeance. I don't think you can make a bad cover for Ghost Rider books anymore. Well, unless you're Mark Texeira. And Batman First Night is interesting, but I haven't read it yet. Has anybody read that? Checked it out?
Read the first one, and then I don't know, did number 2 come out? I think number 2 came out last week or this week. I just didn't read it.
That's a great cover right there. Spawn cover, 353. This is
I like
going
the
to be
something epic cover.
This is a hit right here.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
I need that.
I mean,
I need that.
This is your hit book. This is your book that
I
everybody's
would think
going to
Bird
want.
City would have already done that, or something like that.
That's a great
awesome.
idea. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Kudransky's been doing really good homage variants since the beginning of the series. Very nostalgic to the 80s and 90s.
Do you see my Game Boy over here?
Yeah. Lucky duck. I saw when you got it. It's graded too, right?
Mm-hmm.
Another Dave Johnson cover that is good, but still looks like a propaganda poster. All Dave Johnson covers look like propaganda posters.
And it's $5.99.
Yeah.
It's just and so they're putting the House of Brainiac in that one. Okay.
Look at that. That's a good cover. The main man. Action Comics 1065. Sandoval cover. There's your Brainiac, House of Brainiac stuff right there.
Justin, do you have to, like, for the House of Brainiac, that storyline that's going on right now, can you read just the Superman, or do you actually need to really kind of expand out to the other books as well?
No, so the main stories is Action Comics and then Superman. And then like that issue there is part 3, and then Superman 14 will be part 4. But I don't know why it's going into Green Lanterns. I guess because since Green Lanterns orbit the Earth, like, or the Guardians kind of. But yeah, if you could just read Action Comics and Superman.
I love all the different versions of Brainiac.
Yeah, I've read the first 2 parts. It was really good.
Remember the Superpowers version of Brainiac?
I was about to say, I just always liked them ever since the cartoon as a kid.
Look at this cover. Holy cow.
Ripper.
What a great cover. That's fucking good. Gotta love the Dreadnoks. Gun Honey. That's an interesting. I think we already talked about that. I feel like we already talked about that. It's a weird looking cover. It's an interesting cover.
So was Adam Hughes doing like the first one, and other people took over after that?
Who knows?
Yeah.
This is a great Uncanny Valley cover.
It's like the Roadrunner,
right? It's got the He-Man poster.
Nice.
It's got the Sky Striker or the F-16.
It's got that Tony Felice guy. He's not too bad.
It's got a baseball card. It looks like it's the fuckface card too.
It'd be better if it was the Simpsons card.
What are these down here? Can't really tell. That's cool. That's a cool cover. This is an interesting story, man. I'm gonna keep reading it. It's very interesting. Willem of Newbury. I don't even know what this is. Is Michael Avon Emming? Dude, I gotta get Michael Avon Emming on a show sometime. Michael Avon Emming has one of the greatest stories ever. If you're a Coast to Coast AM fan, do you guys know what Coast to Coast AM is? Do you guys remember it?
I know.
No.
Coast to Coast AM was a radio show that played in the 90s and early 2000s. It still plays. It's an AM radio show. It's played the most radio stations worldwide, and it's played every night. And they talk about aliens and ghosts and stuff. And there's this guy named Art Bell that used to be the host. And one night, there's a famous story where a guy called in saying that he worked at Area 51 and that he escaped, and he was freaking out on the phone. He's like, they're going to come and get me, and they're going to shut down this call. And it's super famous, right? And for years, it was like, oh my God, we don't know who this person was that did this. Like 10, 15 years go by. It's one of the greatest stories ever. Michael Avon Emming does some type of event, and he tells a story where him and his buddy called in to Coast AM and faked like they were working at Area 51.
Holy shit.
And it turns out it was Michael Avon Emming and his buddy that did it. Super crazy, man. That's a big story. All right. So we'll have to check that out. Rian Gonzalez, X-Men 97 cover. It's okay.
Yeah, it's not as good as the other ones.
No. All right. Let's run through these a little bit quicker here. There's more Gun Honey stuff, more Spider-Man stuff, Darkwing Duck stuff. You get the Trish Forstner cover. We'll take a look at that. That's good. Here we go. Is that Pete's Dragon? Is that who that is? Maybe not.
Get the names of all the characters.
I don't really know any Disney characters.
Do you remember Pete's Dragon?
Yeah.
Yeah, fuck yeah. And then there was Puff the Magic Dragon. Remember that one too. Thomas Silliage and Dolfo. All right. That's a cool cover.
Remember Figment? Figment, right? What's the name?
Yeah, Figment. That was
Value?
that was great, man. I like those Figment books. That's a cool cover right there. Cruella. I Heart Skull Crushers. Got a couple good covers going on there. Last Ronin stuff. This is cool. You got the cool Slash variant. I always thought that was a cool character. Sonic, Monster High, Godzilla, the Goon. That's a cool Goon cover. More Ultimate Black Panther stuff. What's that? That's a pretty cool She-Hulk cover. That's interesting. There's Texera. See what I'm saying? Texera's got to even ruin the easiest of covers nowadays. His art is so bad.
That's a terrible cover.
Oh,
It can't be Mark. It's
bro.
got to be. It's got to Mark with like 2 Ks or something. It's like the like how Platt changed. Like Platt stuff is garbage now.
Well, that looks like something out of like a Nintendo cover art.
It was bad,
like a box art, right?
That's a great cover.
Nice Nimrod, yeah.
Yeah.
It looks like the Venom too, when he's holding Spider or the Amazing ASM cover.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's a good cover too.
That's a good cover, yeah.
Let's see here. What is that? Count Crowley. That's interesting covers. Blue Book. Speaking of aliens, Michael A. Von Emming. Look at that. What do you know? More of the Batman stuff. Black Widow, Hawkeye stuff. Amazing Spider-Man. John Romita Jr. Garbage. Walking Dead. Mercy. There's more Epic stuff. All the covers for Epic are good.
Yeah, I love that series.
Yeah. Really, really good. And then Sinister Sons. I'm not even reading that. Should probably check that out. Outsiders. Nottingham. Here we go. G.I. Joe. Number 306.
I think the cover's great. I just think it's one of those things where if people aren't familiar, it has nothing to do with the Energon universe. It's completely...
Yeah, but it's good,
right
though.
Back.
It's really good. It's not bad.
Yeah. It's okay. Like, I think if you like G.I. Joe, it's fine, but I think it's one of those things where if you read issue number 10 or 11, and they talked about Dr. Venom and the brainwave scanner, not a whole bunch has changed in 300 issues.
Yeah.
I like the Andy Kubert stuff on the covers because I think that's really good, but the way they have Serpentor and like trying to make people into zombies now, it's just a little. Give me the Energon universe. Like, there is no bad Energon universe.
Look at this cover. Holy cow. That's beautiful.
That's a Batman series I'm not reading at all. I have no idea what it's about.
Yeah, I didn't touch it either. No, thank you. Batman and Robin number 9. You got the Monkey Prince cover, which is cool. And then finally, we've got Action Comics 1065. Paulo Rivera. That's a cool Brainiac cover. I like that. Where he's in the Kandor, Bottle City of Kandor. Is that what that is? Yep. That's good shit. All right. There we go. FOC for this week. Make sure you guys go check it out. Let's get into what we're all here for tonight, because we've got some new stories for...
I got at you, McClay. I hope this makes your comic book drama, because these dudes, goofy ass dudes.
Into the news. Into the into the
but let's get down to business.
Let's get down to business. Starting off with some interesting AI stories in the world of comics. Did you guys see this news that DC supposedly pulls and replaces covers accused of being AI? Here we go.
Oh, I saw this. Yes.
These are all supposed to be AI covers, and let's look at them each. I want to see what they each look like and see. Open image, a new tab. I don't know if I think that one is AI. off the bat. We're going to go through the story together, kind of, because I want to see what everybody's thoughts are at the end of this. I don't know if that's necessarily AI cover off the bat. It's a great looking image. Doesn't look too AI. What do you guys think? That look too very AI-esque? Maybe.
Definitely, yeah, definitely the least of the three.
Yeah. This
I
one,
usually feel like there's more of like a focus on the body or the person.
Yeah.
As opposed to like all the different scatter pieces that are
in
the other cover.
This one, Power Girl, is interesting. I could see this one with the hair, the look of they do some weird looks things, but I don't think, here's the problem that we're getting. And we've talked about this before. The way that the AI works with some art programs is you can sketch something out and you can have AI touch it up and then continue sketching and have AI touch it up again, and then continue sketching on it, have AI touch it up again. And it's using some of your art and some of the AI algorithm stuff, So I don't see why that can't happen. And we'll get into that in a second. This right here is very interesting too. They don't look too much like, they got a little bit of a look of AI, like with the way that AI does this weird thing with like ripping stuff. And you can see them in the background here, the hair, this right here, all that stuff. But supposedly this Xingzhang Guo or Daizhong was accused of some people on social media of doing AI art recently. So they took him out. Here's what the guy released as sketches, which is interesting. So, but he could have just did the sketches afterwards.
Yeah.
He's got to timestamp some of this. He shows all his stuff. So, it says at the time, a DC spokesperson said DC Comics has long-standing policies in place that all artwork must be the artist's original work. We are looking into specifics on the situation. Well, they took it down and they replaced them with these. So you're going to get a Dave Johnson Power Girl. You're going to get a Dan Panosian Wonder Woman, which is awesome. And you're going to get a Cully. Is it say Cully? Shazam, which is not very good. But I don't dislike these two. Not bad.
I guess my question would be with the guy who released the original art, shouldn't there be an editor at some point, like the whole way this process works and there are things that are timestamped?
Yeah.
And be easy to actually audit and share like, hey, this isn't, or this came before what was out?
It looks like he's come out, and this is his YouTube channel. So he's got a YouTube channel. That's very interesting. He's Portuguese, I'm guessing.
Bom dia.
Yeah. So, that's interesting. Where did that go? Did I just lose that? Where the hell did that go? I lost it. All right, let me go find it. Anyways, yeah, that's pretty interesting stuff. There we go. We'll see how this artist, he did drop some him sketching, I think videos of him sketching. Did you guys see these at all? Let me bring up those videos.
I got to tell you too, I look at those covers and then I look at like ASM with JRJR. I'd rather have whatever this guy's putting out versus what he is. Because I mean, his is just literally just rancid milk. It's awful.
Yeah, it's bad.
And he's been doing it for God knows how many since they relaunched ASM.
Yeah.
I actually finally dropped it because I was like, I just can't do it anymore. It's just the story's been bad for so long and the art's even worse. So now it's actually turned hit some kind of big character.
Well, the AI stuff is not looked highly upon in the art circle. And speaking of that, there are not only people who are being called out for, you know, AI that are artists and stuff like that guy, but our good friend of the show, Mr. Epic Nation, is pulling some more interesting cover swipes. Who is very interesting that Epic hasn't gone to AI art instead of cover swiping. You would think that he gets so much shit for cover swiping and stealing IP stuff that he would just say, you know what, I'm just going to go to AI art. Then I don't have to pay an artist. You know? The grift is
and
real.
And the supporters would follow.
Yep. Yeah, they probably would. So what's going on with this? This is an obvious cover swipe. Obvious.
I just can't believe people buy this shit.
Lyrics Lee's art.
Yeah.
Who's he saying is
Fool me
doing
once,
this?
shame on you. But fool me twice. I mean, holy shit, strike 30.
I want to know who he's saying is doing that, right?
It's some UK person, someone in like.
Oh, he must have blocked me.
I saw because I remember I went on somebody sent me who the artist was, and I went on their page.
Did he block me? Oh no, he didn't block me yet. Okay, good. He hasn't put it up there. Oh yeah, he put it right here. Here we go. C2E2 exclusive drop. Cosplay Wars Sexy Pool. Sexy X Pool. Cover by this person. D Haxia.
Who's got not even
official.
1,000 followers. Brand new, doesn't know anything about the world of art. We'll take a paycheck.
Yep. It's very easy to go on to IG and find people doing, you know, covers like this or art like this and going, hey, you want to do a comic book cover?
Mm-hmm.
Just make it look like this. I mean, what is this? Power Girl set available through Tuxedo Tiger Comics. Man. There we go. More cosplay stuff. Be on the lookout. It's pretty heavy right now.
Yeah, so I spoke to two of the retailers. I'm not going to, name names, but they were very upset with this. I sent the picture to one of them, and they were like, "You're like the fifth person in about 5 minutes that sent it to me." And I was like, "Well, it's already been sent to me multiple times in the same amount of time." And we had a conversation. So, and then the one retailer who actually came up with the concept of the idea, again, it super, super upsetting, that this is happening. And the book on the left literally came out a month ago. This is the current Edge of Spider-Verse. That's Edge of Spider-Verse #1. That was through a couple partnerships. I posted Eastside Comics, Sad Lemon, KRS, Comic Mint. And I mean, we're only on issue 3, I think, of Edge of Spider-Verse. And then you get this cover on the right, which is, like you said, it's some cosplay sexy wars, which is clearly the same exact book, same exact cover.
Same pose, everything.
Yeah.
Man. That's rough. Well, hopefully, Lyrics Lee, right? Is that will reach out to the person that is doing these covers and say, hey, what do they call that in the industry? They call that they give it's a coaching moment, right? And maybe,
stealing. Sorry.
Oh.
My bad.
They call it a coachable moment, right? So maybe Lyrics Lee or Art Germ, right? Because Art Germ isn't Lyrics Lee part of Art Germ's little studio. So maybe Art Germ or Lyrics Lee or somebody or all three, all the artists over there need to reach out to this person and say, hey, just a heads up, this doesn't work this way, or try to make it a coachable moment on this person rather than I just feel like there could be these coachable moments with these people where hopefully the artist will quit taking these cover swipes.
Just reach out and say, hey, I love this cover. Do you mind if I do this for this?
Yes.
But there was none of that conversation. There was, nothing from Epic to any of the people that actually put out the cover. I'm sure they didn't reach out to Art Germs Collectibles. I'm sure they didn't reach out to Lyrics. So.
Oh, this was already an homage to an Art Germ cover to begin with, huh? Wow. That might be right, because it looks like this used to be an Art Germ cover.
Yeah, because if you on the right under her, what is that, right arm, you can see
it says after Art Germ. Look at that.
Yeah.
Wow. Very interesting. Well,
and there's no credit given on on the second one.
Oh hell no. What does it say right here? What does that say? Looks like it says something right there. I don't know what it is though. We'll see. But we'll see how many people buy it. People will continue to spend money and buy those things like normal. It is what it is. So here, the craziness about it is that supposedly Whatnot and the places that Epic is selling these things are continuing just to make amazing money. Did you guys see this about cards? There's people out there that are putting posts on social media looking to pay people $150,000 base pay to anyone who is confident they can buy $40,000 to $60,000 a week worth of cards at close to 80% using my capital. Think you can spend $70,000 to $100,000 a week? I'll pay you $250,000 a year. Badmouth me, call me a trust fund baby, far from true, insult me, I could care less. I'm making the opportunity known here and now. If you are a hard worker with a good reputation, let's talk. I have 5 to 8 positions open. Goal is to be buying a consistent 1 million to 1.3 million a week. And they're buying at 80% comps and they're putting it on Whatnot. Boom. Putting it on Whatnot. Put it on Whatnot. And they're just overtaking. I mean, this is crazy. Minnesota Card Show is live and jumping. Dealers are cashing collectors out 100% of comps. Look at that. At a card show, buying 80 to 90%, 95%. And they're hopping. I'm surprised they don't do this at cons, like comic cons, put up a thing that says buying,
But here's the thing, and I don't want to get into this, but there are people on Whatnot, which I've heard, that don't get fees. So if you're someone like this who can sell a lot, you may not be getting charged fees. So you're realistically getting 100% of the card or the comic. I would like that, but
yeah, I don't think that that happens in comics yet. Card selling has gotten just crazy to where they're just buying everything up, man. And I don't know how long is that going to last? It doesn't feel like it's going to last very long. I don't know, man. That's kind of scary. That being said, speaking of Whatnot, I have heard that their competitor, eBay, is starting to maybe take things a little bit more serious over there and starting to clean up shop. I heard that the one seller who was also ripping off our girl Sozamika in a bad way is no longer a seller over there. That he might have been kicked off the platform, which is
Did they release a lot of Invincible covers at eBay too?
Oh my God, man. It's absolutely crazy. The shit.
We found them in the warehouses.
Yeah. Sitting in the corner. Those only went to 3 guys, man. Those 500 books only went to 3 guys. So
Hood's still waiting on his.
Yeah.
The original ones.
Yeah, we all know that. So, yeah, it's very interesting. Did you guys see this? Shakuri put this out. Taylor Swift Dazzler. How many people bought this? A bunch of people bought this. You know
I was
it.
about to say it's a nice cover.
Look, that just looks like a picture. I mean, it looks like
It looks just like her. I mean, spot on. Like that's the one I would think that she's like that. Her people are like too close. Just
wow,
man,
that's too much, man. I don't want a comic that. I think that's what's so great about the comic art is that it doesn't look real. I don't know. Maybe there's these cycles we go through where we really like the realistic people, but it's got to have some type of I don't know what to call it, what that is. It's got to have some type of art look to it to me nowadays. You know, I used to really like the cartoony, like dynamic stuff, you know, like Ed McGuinness style art. A lot of people love the Scotty Young style art. I think they're going back to that. They're going to start gravitating back to that style art. People are going to start enjoying the more artistic stuff rather than the stuff that looks like a photo or a video.
Well, I would tell you like this. Like I like Elvira. I think there's a lot of really cool comics with Elvira that look like Elvira, but they don't look like photos of Elvira.
Yes. Yeah,
if you
I
want
agree.
to kind of put on that level.
Yep. Well, we'll see if that shows up on a Hot 10 list somewhere. I imagine it will at some point in time. But it's pretty interesting.
The real one or the stolen one?
One of them. All right. Final drama alert video of the week is this. Check this out.
Did a secret signing of chess while we're all playing checkers. Apparently, Michael Jordan did a secret signing of 1986 Fleer rookie card. The article comes from Darren Ravel over at Collect. Apparently, multiple sources told Collect that Jordan did a coordinated signing.
All right, hold on. Let me replay that.
Someone is out here playing chess while we're all playing checkers. Apparently, Michael Jordan did a secret signing of 1986 Fleer rookie card. The article comes from Darren Ravel over at Collect. Apparently, multiple sources told Collect that Jordan did a coordinated signing within the last month of 10 Fleer rookie cards. Meaning that Collector also paid PSA to fly down to Florida where the signing took place to witness the signing in order to make sure everything went smoothly. Here's where the story gets even crazier. These weren't just Fleer rookies that were signed. Collector had at least 6 PSA 10s, each valued at about $180,000 a piece, and cracked them out of their cases for the signing. Now, these things became PSA 9s during the cracking process. Their values would have dropped to about $16,000, actually losing 90% of their value. Now, 3 of those cards that were cracked stayed PSA 10s, and the autographs were also graded 10s. Considering the fact that back in March, a PSA 8 with a 9 autograph sold on PWCC for $205,000. These 10s are expected to be worth at least $1 million a piece. Apparently, this wild crack and sign story might have created $8 million in value. Absolutely wild news. Shout out to Darren Ravel and the Collects team for getting this information out.
Holy shit, dude.
I real quick, I can't get over him doing this. Like every 10 seconds in the video.
Well, this brings me to the card world and the world of Kurt's Card Care. Did you guys hear about Kurt's Card Care this week?
No.
Oh boy.
So
I did. The last thing I saw was him putting the mantle, the 53 mantle, in the water.
Yeah.
And then pulling it out and just taking all the creases out.
Yeah. Well, PSA this week. Let me look this up here real quick.
Speaking of Jordan, did you see the thing that Javon Jordan's putting out? Jordan cards?
Illuminati. Oh yeah, he is. He's doing
like a Spider-Man.
Yeah.
He's doing a thing.
All right, I'll bring that up. That's a good call. Shout out to EOS Illuminati. All right, let me find this here. So basically, Kurt's Card Care got their PSA. They did a Jackie Robinson card, and I'm trying to find it so I can show it to you guys.
Let's say which. Yeah, I guess that's the question. Is it the 48 Lee, 49 Bowman, 52 Tops? It's got to be one of those.
I want to say it's the 52, but let me take a look.
Because the 52, man, they are really expensive now.
Yeah,
I mean, really expensive.
So if you guys don't know who Kurt's Card Care, I've talked about him on here. I bought their kit and tried it out, and he does these awesome videos where he'll show how to like. He doesn't trim stuff, so a lot of people look at him as like a presser would in comics. He doesn't restore. He'll clean stuff, like he'll take cards and old cards and he'll soak them in like some type of, I imagine it's like a hydrogen peroxide, so many parts peroxide to water parts type flush, and he'll soak these old cards in them. And he did that with a Jackie Robinson card. I want to see if I can find it here. Let's see here. Right here. Here we go. Tiffany Cards is the one that reported about it. So do this. Here we go. So PSA banned Kurt's Card Care for doing this. They found the card that he used and all the other cards that he did, and they deactivate them all. This is crazy, you guys. So check this out. Where is it? Here we go. So Jackie Robinson, 53 Tops Jackie Robinson. He got this card. It had tape on it. So back in the day, they used to put tape on these cards and just put them on walls and stuff, right? They never thought that these cards were going to be worth anything. And you can see the tape spots. So he basically, what he did is he used his Kurt's Card Care stuff to take off the tape. And it got a good 2.5 grade at PSA. PSA went and looked at the card video and all the spots on the card that didn't get changed to find out which card it was, and they deactivated it. They deactivated this. Here's the back of it. And he shows all the changes. They deactivated this, and they deactivated every card in that order. And here you can see, because they're starting to say now that they don't like this and that they think it's, cleaning. This guy says, I contacted PSA about some altered hockey cards on another card cleaner's social media with before and after pics a month ago. This is one of my all-time grails. This is the 51 Gordie Howe rookie. And it got hit with an altered grade too. So CGC altered, came back a PSA 4 after cleaning. PSA has since changed it to authentic altered. So all these people are worried that had their cards, cleaned with this guy. And there's old school Cy Young cards, Sandy Koufax rookies, old school Pokemon cards. This guy has done everything, and they're all getting deactivated. A 52 Mantle PSA 4 is going to get, the people are saying that's going to get deactivated. Well, guess what one of the major cards that Kurt's Card Care cleaned was?
Please tell me it's something from King Golden.
It was the Wembanyama 1/1 Black Shimmer.
Black.
Yep. And it just came back from PSA, a PSA 9, I think, or a PSA 10. And the person that owns that card, it just sold for like $500,000. One of the Wembies, the PSA 9. So now everybody's freaking out. Oh shit. Is all these cards that he worked on going to be deactivated? Some of them are some of the biggest cards in the game, hundreds of thousands of dollars. So there we go. I mean, this is going to be interesting. I reached out to Kurt's Card Care a long time ago to try to get him on.
I remember.
Yeah. And he said he was willing to come on. I told him I wanted to have a lot of the pressers here for the show to come on and talk to him and, you know, kind of pick his brain about, you know, the card stuff. I think Hood would be a great person to talk to him about, you know, because Hood's collects cards too. But I mean, he's done.
After you told me about it, you reached out to him when I got those 69 tops. I got that Lou Alcindor rookie.
Yep.
I reached out to him and took pictures and told him, like, you know, what can I do? And he was very kind. Like, he was very responsive. But it didn't have creases. It was just kind of one of those things that was just naturally kind of, the cuts were.
Yeah. Well,
you can't do anything about him.
I mean, this guy he's constantly, you know, showing how to do this stuff. And he works on all kinds of stuff. Here's a restoration of a 53 Mickey Mantle. And he does the same thing.
He puts soaks.
Yep. And you can see that before it's just destroyed. Absolutely destroyed. Throws it in the water. And it's like a solution. I think the way that the card reacts, it tells me that it has to be like some type of hydrogen peroxide solution because it starts fizzing. It almost fizzes when he puts it in there in certain spots. And then he'll take it and he'll put it between
bubbling.
Bubbling. You see it bubbling at certain spots. And he'll leave it in there, and then he'll take it out and clean it, like do this weird cleaning thing. See, it's bubbling right here.
Oh my God.
And then he'll dry it in between this mat board, this stuff, whatever this stuff is called, that they use like when they're breaking cards. 2 pieces of that. I think it's almost like the stuff that they use like when they 5S toolboxes and stuff. And then he puts it in between those 2 pieces and he dries it for, you know, however many days, and it comes out dry and looks normal. And you can see what he's doing to it. He's just kind of like repressing. He's kind of like pressing
it's like
the
expanding
paper.
the card.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
Huh.
And there you go. You can see that's what he puts it between 2 glass pieces. And it comes out looking 10 times better. I mean, it's not perfect, but it's going to save, it's going to give you a grade number.
But you have to actually takes in like the saturation. I guess the problem is, like, obviously he's not the only guy doing something like this. I mean, we ran into the Blake Martinez stuff.
Yes.
The Hayes left the barn at this point. Like, you try it, like you cancel him, you're opening up Pandora's box. Like, I don't know how PSA is going to handle this. I mean, like, so what do you do? What if I send them all to SGC? Now, you're going to be a PSA company, but can I? It's just, it's not going to work. I mean,
look at this. Before, after looks amazing. I mean, that is just a trash top. And it looks so good. You can see the rip in it. Kind of went back.
I remember
together.
the guy who played, I think played Alabama. He was the one talking about trimming.
Yes. Yep.
And how nobody caught him. So, like, how many guys are you going to try and like catch?
Well, the way that they caught Kurt's Card Care's submissions is the same way they caught the guy trimming back in the day with the trimming scandal. They find points on the card that are the same, that are, you know, damage or something. The same way that they found the 9.9 newsstand dude found the Mark Jeweler books, right? There's certain things on a book. Not every book looks the same. They have certain points of damage or, you know, cuts that are weird that you can tell what book is which if you have pictures of it. You know?
I guess I just always get into like the turnover, the people actually doing the grading.
Yes.
Actually, that's where I just don't think there's any consistency, because so many people have good day, bad day. What's a turnover rate? Like, there's always going to be something. And how many of these companies or people are doing it? Like, good luck trying to like witch hunt everybody out.
Yeah,
I think it's impossible to do.
Well, most modern cards, they're able to be buffed and polished, and that's basically what he does. Is he has like a polish that he uses, and it can't be, as of right now, they can't tell that it's been used on modern cards. So.
But I think that's one of the issues with PSA. So I had a friend who actually had a 86 Jordan. Literally, I know he got it out of like a pack, sent to PSA, and they told him it'd been trimmed. And it's just one of those things like no one has ever had this other card besides like one other person, and they didn't trim it. It's like we had this back when we were kids, and PSA like, nope, it's invalid. It's so I've lost I lost trust back in them a long time ago. But just with all this kind of stuff, again, cards are you have to be really careful with people who are card dealers because they will.
Marcus Aurelius says, I have a rookie Mickey Mantle Mark Jeweler card. Yeah.
Just one?
But is it a newsstand, Brad says.
Double cover.
Yeah, double cover, yeah. Well, I'll be honest, after the whole thing with CGC this year, it's really made me look at grading in a different way. I don't think grading is the end all be all. I think that it's so subjective nowadays for a high grade to tell what is a PSA 9 and a PSA 10 and a CGC 9.8 and a CGC 9.6. You know what I mean? You can crack those books out and keep sending them until you get them, I feel. And I feel that's the same way with cards and almost all grading these days. I'm going to do that with
McKinnon.
Yeah.
I saw that.
McKinnon's getting cracked and sent right fucking back. Yep.
Yeah.
Because that goes from being a $1,000 card to a $10,000 card.
$10,000 card.
Yeah. So grading, I've lost a lot of, I'm not going to say respect, but I don't know what the word is right now because I'm really high. Not trust. Maybe belief, because I trust that it's going to make more money if I get it graded. You know what I mean? Do I trust that it's really the highest grade? Maybe not, but I know I'm going to get more money if I sell it.
Yeah.
I'm going to get more money if it's a PSA 10. I'm going to get more money if it's the CGC 9.8. Period.
Yeah.
So, but that's. We're gonna keep on having to deal with that over and over,
Hey, what do you think about once Ovechkin starts getting a Gretzky, because he's 45 out now?
Bro, let me tell you what I want to do. If that McKinnon would have came back at 10, that was going to be my plan, was to sell that McKinnon and pick up an Ovechkin. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. So now that's just going to have to wait a couple months. But
people can talk about Caitlin Clark and whoever else all day long.
Yeah.
No one's talking about Ovechkin. 45 goals from breaking Gretzky's record.
Yeah. Nope.
And the thing is, he had a bad first half and finished with 32 goals. If somehow or another he does that in like next year and you start getting like he's 10 goals away, it'll be every headline going into the next hockey season.
Yeah. Yeah.
It'll be everywhere.
All right, let's jump out of drama alert with our boy David Lee Roth.
Can you hear me out there? Hey man, don't be squirting water at me. I'm gonna fuck your girlfriend, pal.
That is right. That is right. You gotta love David Lee Roth, man. The OG. That's for sure. Speaking of cards and Coyote stuff, this right here was what ultimately broke my heart. Seeing this. Shane Doan's retired jersey banner being handed to him by a guy who pulled it out of the trash can.
Get out of here.
That's fucking heartbreaking, man. Damn. Look at that. A few years ago, the Coyotes threw Shane Doan's retired number banner into a dumpster. This fan took it and returned it to Shane Doan tonight. That breaks my heart so bad, man. I was at this game. I was at this game. I was at this game, and I was also at the game where he got his 600 goal. God damn, that's fucking heartbreaking. That's why the Coyotes are gone from Arizona. It's because of bullshit like that. Fucking.
At least you got the Rangers, pal.
I know.
Justin, you like the Devils? Rangers?
No, I was listening earlier when I was driving home. I used to be a Coyotes fan.
Really?
When they first went there.
Really?
Yeah. I used to like Jeremy Roenick.
Fuck yeah.
So.
Oh god! Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The
Long,
guy
long
who
time
needs
ago.
to be, he needs to be in the Hall of Fame.
You know, the funny part is I still remember when the Penguins and the Blackhawks played. I want to say like 91 for the Stanley Cup, and the Penguins just let them have it. But Roenick was, I think, his second
he was a
year.
rookie.
Belfour was a rookie,
Oh.
and Dennis Savard scored 3 goals, named hat trick. That was the only game the Blackhawks won, and the fucking Penguins. Kevin Stevens, Mark Recchi, Yager, Lemieux, Tom Barrasso in goal. I mean, they just let those guys have it. It was a bloodbath.
Well, I want to call a shout out to our boy Dave Collects Comics with a great book today for Happy 420. Dr. Atomic, the Pipe and Dope book. I think I got to get me one of these. I got to find one. You guys got any good cannabis comics that you can think of?
I don't think I know what cannabis was until like 10 weeks ago. So.
What is the mermaid chick from Disney?
Oh, Ariel?
What was that? The Last Mermaid? Little Mermaid? Little Mermaid.
Little Mermaid.
This is one of my all-time favorite cannabis books that I think people don't know about.
This is kind of like the one, was it, where there was the golden cock on like a Little Mermaid?
No, they're sitting in a bunch of kelp and it says weed worries.
Oh my god.
You did this one on the market report one time.
Uh-huh. I pulled this out of a back issue bin. That's one of my favorite all-time weed books. There was
Weed
a couple.
Worries.
Yeah, there was a couple of good weed books. Remember that weed comic that came out? This one right here. Let's see here. This one, The Secret War on the History of Weed. This had some really good covers. Let's see if I can find them here. That they did a good job. Let's go. Maybe cover price. Let's just go here. Nope, that's not going to work. Let's go to...
I see Brad Selden. Secret War on Weed, JSR Comics, Weed Magic. Speak what of you.
There we go. The Secret History of the War on Weed. Yes, this had some great covers. The Banksy Chin Potter Virgin homage. That's okay. That's okay. But this one right here is fan-frickin-tastic.
I feel like I've seen that before.
That's a really good one.
Wall somewhere, maybe?
This is the Koblish variant, the Scott Koblish variant, Scott Koblish also did the Todd McFarlane Snake Eyes homage for the G.I. Joe special, summer special, which was supposed to be G.I. Joe 156, but a lot of people don't realize that. He doesn't do very many cons. He does like 1 or 2 a year, but this would be a good book to get signed by. There was also a weed comic book that was a, what were those Bored Apes? Was it Bored Ape? Yacht Club variant. I'm gonna look at chat's books here in a second too.
Oh,
yeah, here we go. The Secret.
Yeah.
Yeah, this one's a really good
I remember
one.
showing that before. Yep.
Yeah, I don't have this one. I need to get this one. That's a good one, right? All right, let's see here. Let me go back. Weed, comics, cannabis. There is some old school ones, like this one. I need to have marijuana. I gotta have reefer. And they're all just smoking in front of them. I know that it's cigarettes, but it'd be funny if it was weed and just smoking in front of them. Weed Magic. I got one of these. This one's really good. Reefer Madness. Need to get one of those. Satan's Cigarettes. There we go. It's a great little scene. The Border Patrol never-ending fight against narcotics. Marijuana. I love how it just says border and there's a skull next to it. This is the famous Reefer Madness scene in the movie. I remember that one. Teenage Dope Slaves. That's awesome. I gotta get me some of that. Satan's Cigarettes. This one's
Hey,
really
have you ever
good.
seen the old cartoons with like Fred Flintstone and Barney Rubble that were the cigarette
ads
commercials?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
They're really incredible. Like back from
Yeah.
like maybe the 40s, 50s.
Dopin' Dan.
And they're just
number
sitting around
2.
smoking cigarettes and trying to get away from Wilma and Betty.
Ooh, that's a good one. Look at this one. Come on. What are we doing here? Dopin' Dan, number 2. Is this the one? Somebody said look this one up. Luis Mendoza. Dopin' Dan, number 2. He's flying into some marijuana fields, it looks like. That's pretty interesting. All right, let's get some more people. What else do I see? Marijuana Girl has some good Marijuana Girl.
I feel like this is one Yee would be really important to be a part of the
Shout out to
discussion.
Yee. He's playing right now. Oh, look at that. Oh, wow. That's a pulp. That's pretty good right there. Look at that. Never was there so outspoken a novel as this, telling the plain, uncensored truth about teenage addicts and their desperate search for thrills. Marijuana Girl. Yeah, there we go. See if there's any more. Very interesting. I might have to find that one. What about the Spider-Man freaking PSA book Smokescreen where the athlete gets addicted to cigarettes or some shit? Is this Spider Guy Murph? I don't know what that is. Dope Comics from Kitchen Sink Press. Yeah, those are classic. What else? Harley Quinn Snatch and Scratch and
I
Sniff.
remember that one.
Yeah. Smells like skunk. I love it. Yeah, this one right here. Yep. Smells like skunk. Which that's what cannabis smells like. And it's funny when you become a cannabis connoisseur and the best weed smells really skunky, and then you smell an actual skunk like out and you're like, it smells like somebody smoking weed. Hey man, it's just, it is what it is. Teenage Dope Slaves, 1952. Yeah, those are good ones. Alex Nomadic says, hold or sell Ellie De La Cruz rookies. I would hold right now.
I would hold, especially if the 3-run home run. He's got 6 home runs. He's batted almost 300, and he had 3 stolen bases yesterday, which I think puts him maybe second or third league because he got double digits. I mean, he's really incredible. He's just an incredible athlete.
Are you guys any of you guys Dungeons and Dragons guys?
I like the old stuff, like the old cartoons.
Mm-hmm. It's pretty interesting.
I think because people always talk about like Peter Cullen being Optimus Prime. They forget that he actually did Venger.
Yeah.
On Dungeons and Dragons.
Yep. He did a bunch of those cartoons. This is a new Converse style that they got coming out for Dungeons and Dragons, limited edition collection for all ages. So
Did you see the Jackie Robinsons they just put out?
No.
Yeah, because he was talking about the Kobe Bryants, but they actually put out for Jackie Robinson's. I think there were maybe 3 different editions, but they
Nike.
Yeah,
this one, the OG, the '86 OG.
Yeah, I would
the
love
Dunk Lows.
Yeah, with the 42 on there.
Yeah, yeah, those are cool. Look at that. Oh wow. Yeah, they're probably selling for a grip too. Those are cool.
Yeah,
those are women's though. I'm not into. I was never a shoe person.
The right there with like the old B at the front with the Brooklyn and the 42 on there. I love those.
The only shoes that I ever wanted as a kid, there was 2 pairs of shoes that I wanted as a kid.
D Browns.
No. Yes. Yep. The pumps. Reebok pumps.
Yeah. The blacks. Because the originals, but he was the D Browns for the second series of the black pumps, which were awesome.
Yeah,
and he did that in Charlotte too, and he won the slam dunk contest.
Yeah, I like I had the regular pumps, but the pumps were the first. No, it wasn't. When did they come out? 90, maybe 90 something.
Yeah, they came out in 90. I want to say because they were just. Yeah, they were more. They were high tops, and then they got slimmer and got silky cleaner as they went to like 91, 92.
Yeah, I remember these ones too, right here.
Man,
but yeah, the all black pumps were the best.
That was the first one. Yeah, that was. I love those, and then the Browns for the next year.
And then these right here. Tell me if you remember these. Motherfucking British Knights, dude.
You want the commercial? How You Like Me Now?
Yeah, let's go find that commercial.
Oh god! But those Z Browns, they were $125. I remember paying like $120, $50 back in '91 in high school for those.
I remember being a kid and thinking these were the coolest things in the world. It's a bunch of just white kids. And then the black people dancing. God, man, the 80s were racist.
British Knights at your favorite store.
Terrible, man.
Oh, it did have the night on there. How You Like Me Now at the end.
Yeah,
it must have come later. Yeah, I always hated those. I thought they were.
Yeah,
they were the next brand of Cougars.
I thought these, for some reason, I thought they were so damn cool.
I love the pumps, so I was a huge pump fan.
BKs, British Knights. Look at that vintage ad. Look at that. Look how fucking these. Look at these. That's a cross between some. Here's the ones that I remember right here. And these red ones, I think those are women's sneakers. Never mind. Yeah, these ones right here, I remember. Fucking shoes. I'm not a shoe person. A lot of people are into collecting shoes now.
I sent Ant something about because like Wimbayana, they had the Nike Aliens coming out for Wimbayana, and then there were some turtle shoes coming out. I sent those to Ant too. But I just found out about the Jackie Robinsons. I would like to have a pair of the Jackie Robinsons.
Yeah. This was interesting. I saw this so I talked about this in the market report on Wednesday, and then I saw Pac for Real on IG put this up. This book sold on the 16th, and it's a killer skull cover, and it sold for $10,000, right? It looks like it was bought the day before for $1,500. Or I don't know what's going. Something weird is going on here. So anybody that saw that on the market report the other night, just a heads up. I would love to find out more information on this because that doesn't feel like a $10,000 book, but maybe it is. I don't know what happened here. Maybe something happened and they realized that they put it up for too low and they put it back up and it sold because it had 85 bids on it. So I'd be very interested to see what happens with that. classic skull book. Great cover. All right, some nostalgia stuff that I thought was cool. How about some old Star Wars on the pegs? Doesn't that take you back?
I still remember getting an ad at Christmas.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
Look at that. Yeah. I
See
remember that shit.
At the very top, the Toy Center sign.
Yep.
That if I could pick anything out of there, that's what I would grab.
Yeah, it's probably a lot. Here's more
really
shoes, and more Dungeons and Dragons shoes. Another set that they put out. So, and then there's a couple more things that I want to talk about. I'm super stoned right now, so we're going through what I put in here. Did you guys see the new Witchblade cover?
Nope. I heard about it, but I haven't seen it.
Look how bad this is. Witchblade #1. Look at her face. Can you see her face?
It takes Sarah doing it.
Looks like two faces.
It's Silvestri too, doing the art.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh yeah, bro. Look at this.
I think JR invented Image, or he's invaded Image.
This is rough, man. Oh, and I'm a huge Witchblade fan. I love Witchblade.
Silvestri's awesome, but
he did such a good job on the Batman Joker stuff this year.
Mm-hmm.
But this is
all this stuff's good.
God awful, man. That looks terrible.
Maybe he was drunk.
Mm-hmm. There you go. Yeah, Botox. That's
Yeah,
exactly what it is.
I just got that right.
I say she's been around for a while.
Yeah,
she had to have a lift. You know.
Damn, that is fucking. That's a tough book. People are gonna be. That's gonna be up there with the worst cover of the year, with that John Cassaday book, right? That X-Men book, Wolverine book, fucking terrible. All right, there was some other stuff. This was kind of cool. We talked about this on the market report too. The magazine that sold that wrestling, that 73 wrestling annual #6. This is the Andre the Giant card that is in that magazine.
No shit.
Yeah. This is the magazine. Here's the cards. People cut these. You got Andre the Giant. What is it? I forget this guy.
Chief Wahoo McDaniel.
Yeah. Yep. Chief Wahoo McDaniel.
Was that Bruno Sammartino up there?
Bruno Sammartino. Andre the Giant. Here's more. I mean, and these things sell for a grip of money too.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah. I wonder to see what that sells for. Let's take a look.
Guys, I'm gonna peace out.
Justin, appreciate it, brother. Thanks for hanging out, man. You're always welcome.
Absolutely. Thanks, guys.
Make sure you guys go check out the Comic Com podcast and follow Nemesis Prime on IG. Appreciate you, brother.
Appreciate you guys. Nate, good seeing you.
All right, buddy.
All right, here we go. So this is the Wrestling All-Stars card that was actually
Ric Flair has one of those.
Yeah, these are the sets that I remember that I thought was awesome, that I wish I had sets of. I only own one. I have the I have a PSA autographed copy of the who's the dude from Minnesota that was in Predator?
Jesse the Body Ventura?
Yeah, Jesse the Body Ventura. I have his rookie card signed, PSA graded. All right.
I actually just got so I'm a huge Demolition fan. I had bought an Axe and Smash graded Beckett card when they won the World Tag Team titles at WrestleMania, and they just looked so excited when they won it, and they're just Axe and Smash. I was like,
that's awesome.
That's the greatest. I was like, fantastic.
Look how one hasn't even sold in forever. It's been that long.
Yeah. I do think there's money.
Here's a whole set for
really
$4,500.
Really bad, but I think you could take if you want to really kind of make some money or put something away that would make money relatively quickly, I think you could actually take Ric Flair cards, especially autos, filter them like whatever the bid is. There's a lot of Leaf Ric Flair cards right now, and they have like different wardrobes or different, what he came out in, and there aren't tons of them. I think it's probably a smart buy to buy those because Rick's health is not the best.
How many of these do you think are out there? Owen Hart autographed card,
and it's action packed.
Yep.
Do you realize it? So I have that lift. Oh man, poor Owen. God.
I know, right? This is crazy, man. That's
a 10.
Yeah. Wow.
Man.
Sold for $150. I feel like that should have sold for a lot
that's
more.
That's way too cheap.
Yeah. How many Owen Hart cards are there out there signed? Not many.
Action packed. There are 10s and 94. That's
yeah.
That's got to be the PSA count of like 11.
Yeah. That's
and
crazy.
9 over in Canada, and people are not selling them. Man, yeah. Wow.
So I thought that was pretty cool. There was some interesting art things that I found that I'll show you guys probably later on. But one thing that I did want to talk about tonight is shout out to Dynamite. Dynamite has another crazy IP that they're rocking with over there. They got the Terminator going on. Look at this. Brace yourself for the ultimate Terminator experience. Celebrate 40 years of iconic sci-fi with our remastered graphic novel collection. Immerse yourself in the battle against machines like never before. So it's going to be interesting to see like what they're going to do with that. They have a Kickstarter going. I'm going to bring that up.
I think for me, like still the best part of the Terminator was actually Terminator 2. When they released the Guns N' Roses video before the movie came out,
yep,
and they put the tape out, and Civil War was on one side, and You Could Be Mine was on the other.
Yep. I remember that very, very clearly. You know what I also remember that a lot of people don't realize? Frank Miller had a lot to do with. He did Terminator Comics, didn't he? Or was that? I know he did
because they were Dark Horse
the RoboCop
then,
stuff.
Right?
Yeah, but didn't he do like Dark Horse Terminator stuff too?
They did because and then it's all Dark Horse. You had Aliens, Predator, like all that stuff was all Dark Horse.
So this is also Alex Ross's first comic work. Terminator Burning Earth, yeah. So
I meant to tell you, when I listened to Rob Servations today at the Yard, he was talking about Frank Miller's first work.
Yeah. The which one? The Twilight Zone books.
That's it. Yeah.
So you got looks like Terminator Burning Earth, Terminator 40th Anniversary Collection Volume 1. You got a hardcover, a soft cover, and a metal hardcover jacket. Same with Volume 2. I want to say
JLS Comics and Lords of Brooklyn, right on. RoboCop versus Terminator.
RoboCop versus Terminator. That's right. Yeah.
Spot on. That's it.
So it says in 1984, no one could have predicted that we'd be reading books and comics on digital devices, but that future has arrived. For fans who prefer the digital world to the printed, they're going to offer these as PDFs also. That's cool. Look at this. Yeah. Really nice looking hardcovers.
Uzi 9mm.
So here's what you get. You get the Terminator one-shot, Terminator Sector War 1 through 4, Terminator 1984 1 through 3, the Terminator from Tempest Publishing in 1990 1 through 4, Terminator Enemy of My Enemy 1 through 6, Terminator Secondary Objectives 1 through 4, Terminator The Enemy Within 1 through 4, Terminator Endgame 1 through 3, Terminator 98 one-shot, Terminator Death Valley, Dark Years 1 through 4, Hunter and Killers 1 through 3, Suicide Run from Dark Horse Presents number 138, 2029, and Burning Earth 1 through 5, which is the Alex Ross stuff. Look at this. Wow. Yeah, this is pretty cool. again, another example of how, oh, right here's the Burning Earth stuff. Alex Ross. He did some interesting little hidden stuff in these. Oh, they're Chrome editions, Chrome reprint issues. There's the Alex Ross one right there. Yep. Terminator Burning Earth #1 Chrome is the first Alex Ross Terminator issue. That's cool. So there must be some type of backing thing for this. So there you guys go. Go check it out. I'll drop a link in the live chat for you guys. If you guys want to check this out. Crowdfunding. Backer Kit is where it's being funded. We'll have to talk to Nick. We're going to get Nick on either the OA show or the another industry show coming up here soon. So, but that being said, you guys, here's the link. Go check it out. Pretty cool. We'll also put the link in the description. If any of you guys are Terminator fans, let's go ahead and watch this really quick.
The year is 2029. The AI known as Skynet sees its inevitable defeat at the hand.
You want to hear something funny really quick? I worked in the space and defense industry, and one of the satellites that we were working on before, when it was in early parts of the production phase, like they haven't even got to production, it was just like early pre-kits and stuff, they called it Skynet. Yeah. Yeah, it was so stupid. We were like, what are you doing? Yeah. All right, continue on.
The year is 2029. The AI known as Skynet sees its inevitable defeat at the hands of the resistance leader, John Connor. In a last-ditch effort to eliminate the human threat, it sent an unstoppable cyborg killing machine back in time to eliminate his mother, Sarah Connor. This is the story of the chronological war against the machines. This is the Terminator. In 1984, the world of science fiction was changed forever with the arrival of James Cameron's The Terminator. Since that first glimpse of the future, there have been many stories told in the pages of comic books that add to the rich history of the franchise. Now, Dynamite Entertainment delivers the ultimate Terminator collections, celebrating the 40th anniversary of the property. For the first time, all the Terminator stories are being collected in chronological reading order in
that's
3
cool.
new volumes that include trade paperbacks, hardcovers, and special metal-jacketed deluxe editions. There are also key Chrome edition comics, limited to only 1,984 copies each, celebrating the year we were introduced to the Terminator. And as a special thank you, supporters who purchase the metal-jacketed books will receive a collector's slipcase that houses all 3 volumes for your bookshelf.
That's badass.
Get your copies of these incredible collections now, because the Terminator is out there. It can't be bargained with. It can't be reasoned with. It doesn't feel pity or remorse or fear, and it absolutely will not stop until you have these books.
Very cool.
Yeah, that is cool, man.
That's cool.
You remember that old school Terminator comic? And then I remember that cover was so important. And then what's their names did an homage to it. Pinky and the Brain.
Oh, God, they were love the Animaniacs. We actually met one of the guys who actually was the starter of Animaniacs at a show here and bought one of his original pieces of art. The same time I met the guy from Colonel Sanders from Spaceballs.
Oh yeah,
they're at the same convention. Yeah.
So here you go. Here's this one.
It's so great.
And then there's this one. So be on the lookout for these, you guys. Pinky and the Brain homages. Pinky and the Brain homages are up there with, like, you know, SpongeBob homages, all that stuff. There's a lot of really good covers.
I bought one from Phil that was the Animaniacs of Pulp Fiction.
Yeah.
With Dot.
Did you get? Was it the DCU variant or just the regular?
Oh, it's not the DCU. It's a regular because it was cheap. It was a 9.6 and it wasn't that expensive.
That
it
DCU,
looks great.
That DCU is the one that Stein has been searching for the most.
Yeah, I believe that.
Yeah.
That's got to be. I mean, a handful of them. There can't be many.
Yeah, I agree. There probably isn't that many of them. So it's pretty interesting. Did you get any pickups this week?
I've got a few. They're all a little different. Just but I think stuff that especially like the first one. Airborne.
Oh, sick.
My favorite, Franklin Talltree, man. I loved him. And he came out, this was at Target, picked him up. I was like, oh, he looks really good. And then when they come out with the Dragonfly, I can't wait to put him on that with Wild Bill.
Yeah. That's awesome.
So I got this the other day. When I was in college, Tennessee played for the national title in baseball against Cal State Fullerton. I don't know if you remember Mark Kotze.
Yep, I remember.
He played for Cal State Fullerton and was just destroyed the balls in the College World Series. Todd Helton, this is when in Game 4 when we beat Stanford, Helton threw a 4-hitter. He also played first base, and Helton was the National Player of the Year playing first base. He actually still holds the season record for ERA in the SEC. He was that good of a pitcher. He was the Shohei before there was a Shohei.
Yep. There's a couple players from Tennessee that did that, right? Wasn't there another pitcher from Tennessee that also played?
Well, the funny part was R.A. Dickey was actually the start, like number 1 start on the team, and he was the number 2 starter, and it was a loaded team. And then Helton was a start. Well, he wasn't starting quarterback. He was a second string quarterback after Colquitt got knocked out at UCLA, and Manning was number 3.
Wow.
Because he was a freshman. So Peyton Manning and Todd Helton are like best friends.
Oh, I didn't know that.
They
Is Todd Helton in the Hall of Fame yet?
Just got the call the other day.
Yeah, that's
just
cool.
got the call the other day.
That's cool, man.
All right, I think you may be a little too young for this. So if you do like the 80s cartoons, like Mass, Silverhawks, and that stuff, there was one show that lasted for one season called Bionic 6. I loved it.
I remember Bionic
Loved
6.
It.
Yeah.
I think it had the best theme song. Mass, Silverhawks were next, but Bionic 6 and Glove was my favorite guy. And I picked this up the other day, and it die-cast metal, like you can still feel how heavy the figure is.
That's awesome.
And most of these guys aren't that expensive, but there are a few like random figures that are really hard to find. But this is the one that you're gonna love.
Oh wow. Holy cow. Look at that sketch.
53. Signed and sketched. Larry Hama.
Wow. That is awesome.
It was $175 on eBay.
Oh my gosh.
I went on an auction. I thought it would go for like 500 or something, and it ended at like kind of a random time. But I was like, man,
that is just absolutely beautiful.
Because you remember these covers, like the Care Bears, Ewoks, they're very hard to get clean with the 9.8 and with the sketch and this Larry Hama signature. I was like,
I love whenever Snake Eyes has that blue shine to them that they use with them. They do it, and it makes Snake Eyes look really cool. But those you speak of those Care Bear books, man. One of those Care Bear star.
There's $300 books.
Yeah, $300 book. Yep.
I mean, people love that book.
I'm going through. So I got something funny to tell you. I'm going through books right now. I'm sorting stuff to start selling again. I quit selling probably like a year and a half ago. I just once everything started getting kind of out of control, I was like, this feels weird. So I stopped, and I shouldn't have stopped, but it is what it is. So I'm starting to go through stuff again to start sorting it again and where to sell certain things, because more than ever you've come to find that there's certain areas to sell certain things and vice versa more than ever. And so I'm like sorting out like $5 books, $10 books, $20 books, you know, that type of thing. I'm going to send this to get graded. This is going to go up on eBay, And I've started going through my G.I. Joe stuff, and I have probably like 5 of each of all those really cool variants that they did during the Devil's Due Image years, like the Cobra variant where it's an all black cover with a foil Cobra, you know. I probably got like 5, 6, 7 of those. I've got the Graham Crackers Michael Turner variants. I probably got like 3 or 4 of each of those. I got the when they redid it and they did another Graham Crackers where it's a Snake Eyes homage to Captain America #1. I must have like 5 of those. I can't believe how many cool books I'm finding going through this stuff. And part of me is like, I don't want to sell these. But I think to myself, I go, dude, I've got 5 of each. Like, what do I need these for? So I was telling Kyle today, there's a lot of books that I find myself going, I love this, but I need to sell it. It just needs to sell. There's no reason to have 5 of each, you know? Good shit, dude.
It's hard. I mean, like they have G.I. Joe 2 has so many good covers. That Devil's Due run. Like I still
Josh Blaylock,
remember
Tim
reading
Seeley.
that when they killed Lady J. I just couldn't believe it.
Yeah, great series, man.
Couldn't believe it. It
Excellent
was
series.
really good. Because they brought in the Red Shadows, like it was, and it led to IDW with like World War III or the Cobra or World War III, which I still think was one of the best storylines I've ever read for G.I. Joe.
Yeah, great series, man. Yeah, I agree. It was up there with. I remember running into Tim Seeley and Josh Blaylock at a con one time and just telling them like, "Holy, you guys don't know, you guys got me back into G.I. Joe in such a big way with that Devil's Due run." And shout out Team Seeley's working with Tony Fleece now. They did that Local Man stuff, so one of these days I'll try to get Tim Seeley over here. We're going to reach out to, I think, Tony and Trish maybe again to have them on here soon. I know Tony's doing some great signings all around the country, so be on the lookout for maybe Tony Fleece to be in your area, in your shop. So we'll keep an eye out for that. And then, great way to end out 420. I am super, super ripped, and we'll probably jump on the Discord for a little bit and go smoke a little bit more and call it a night early. This is what we got. What am I saying early? We just hit the 3-hour mark. So come hang out with us on the Discord, you guys. The Discord is free to join. You can set it up on your phone app and listen, over your headphones for your phone and talk to us and stuff. And we just kind of go in there and shoot the shit for a little bit. Sometimes a lot of people show up. Sometimes nobody shows up. Lasts from anywhere from about a half hour to an hour. So if you want to come hang out with us in the Discord, we'll be in there. Hopefully I can figure out what's going on with the sound from the Discord. But we'll see. That being said, you got anything coming up this week interesting that you can think of, man? Same old shit, different day.
Just watching the industry show. I think you and Jesse and Dennis knocked it out. It's a great show. It's really,
if you guys,
really fun to watch.
Yeah, if you guys are new to the channel, we have a lot of new people to the channel. We've had, so just a heads up, you guys, I want to thank everybody that's really supported the channel lately, and all the OG guys. I appreciate you. Shout out to all early in the channel's story, I started the memberships, and I created membership levels, and one of the membership levels I think is like OG, and it's going to give those people that have that membership a 10% off of things that I sell. So if you are a part of that OG membership group, I'm going to create a special thing for us in the Discord, and you guys start keeping an eye out for my eBay store. I'm going to be packing my eBay store. We're going to be doing eBay live sales, eBay regular sales. We're going to be doing live sales on the YouTube. I'm going to be trying to work something out, maybe with get BigLegg on here, a couple other people, and maybe start selling some stuff on YouTube also. But if you guys, we also are going to do the breaks. I've finally got the stuff to do the breaks on the retail stuff. So we're going to put those up immediately. I know I've been saying I've been doing it for a while, but I'm trying to find out the best things for Discord to use for that stuff, because I know there's bots out there to create lists and give easy ways to pay. But I think Shopify might be the best. I don't know. I'm going to talk to Leg about it and figure out the best way to do it. But I want to give those people the ability to get 10% off anything I sell. So remember, if you're in that level of the membership, you guys. But back to what I was saying, I want to say thank you to everybody that's joined us that are new over here to Beyond Wednesdays. We average usually around 30 subscribers a month. Right now, we are averaging 350 to 400 subscribers a month. So thank you so much to all the new guys. If you're not subbed up yet and you're just hanging out, hopefully tonight was the show that'll make you guys sub up. If not, come check us out on our other live shows. We do the industry show on Tuesday that Nate's talking about with two longtime LCS owners, 30 plus year veterans in the trenches of the comic book industry, where it's a little bit more professional atmosphere. I don't even get high before that show. So it's definitely more professional. But that being said, we also do our Wednesday night show, which is more of our collector focus show, where we have a market report on the comic book or the collectibles market. We talk about action figures, comics, new comic book
Posters.
day, posters, all kinds of fun
All
stuff.
kinds of
It's
stuff.
just your collectible show. That's Wednesday night, and then of course Friday night we on the House of Stein we do the Hot 10 Comics show on the secondary market, and then Saturday night is just our hangout show, kind of shoot the shit on a Saturday night, a little bit rowdy sometimes. But it was a great 420 show tonight, and I appreciate everybody. We'll see you in the Discord. We're out. Peace.